Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. This is Twin City Thunderbirds hockey. Kendall Grayson with you on the call. Game number 2 of the 25-26 regular season campaign. And last night, the home opener, a difficult result for the team, a 6-4 loss. But it was a 2-0 lead in the first period. And this place was really rocking, but then the PD IceCats, the same opponent that Twin City will see tonight, answering with 4 unanswered goals, and eventually won the game by a final score of 6-4. Twin City in the first period last night outshot PD by a margin of 25-10. The IceCats then come back to outshoot the Thunderbirds 13-9 in the second period, 15-7 in the third period, and Twin City outshot PD overall 41-38 in the matchup. But the goal scorers in last night's home opener for your Twin City Thunderbirds, a couple of goals from Gus Ford. One in the first period that gave the Thunderbirds a 2-0 lead in the game, and then he also found one in the final 2 minutes. In between, a goal from Jan Salak in the second period, and the first goal of the season. The trivia question way late in the year when we look back, who got the first goal of the year this year? For Twin City, it was Zach White, assisted by Roman Kramer and Stephen Ford. So that was back in the Pine Tree Tavern first period last night. Second period, though, the IceCats come roaring back. Twin City adds a goal in the second. They also get one there in the final 2 minutes of the third period. But not enough, and they'll try to answer back with a bounce-back win this evening. Puck drop coming up at 6:05. Boris Babic was in net last night, recorded the loss in goal for the Thunderbirds. But it was the second win of the year for PD in last night's game. They've got 13 goals in their last 2 appearances. A 7-5 win last weekend back on Saturday against Columbus. That was 1 week from tonight. And then, of course, the offensive production the team saw in last night's game. So the Thunderbirds just in game number 2. As they did not play last weekend, they'll be looking for win number 1. And as always, we'll find out together if they can get it done. Kendall Grayson with you on the call tonight. Thanks again for tuning in. The fans continue to file in to the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. And we'll see what the Thunderbirds have for us. And we'll see if they can find a bounce-back victory again after dropping the home opener in a season-opening game last night. Here's the full roster for Twin City if you missed the intros last night. And, of course, last night just the opening game of the season. So at the forward position, it's Jacob Schnapp, Gus Ford, John Butita, Jan Salak, Roman Kramer, Zach White, Nate Keeley, Ryan Glazer, Noah Hippolyte Smith, Yuri Pestuka, and Michael Mania up front. On defense this season, as the roster is right now here for opening weekend, Stephen Ford, Jacob Crespo, Sergei Sherbakov, James Farmer, Adam Zimmerman, Dion Demke, and Don Carter Jr. And the 3 netminders, Boris Babic, who played last night, Chad Purdy was the backup, and Dyson Skinner, a late add to the roster to complete the 3 netminder rotation for the Thunderbirds. And we'll see who gets the start tonight and how much of a rotation it is moving forward. But Boris Babic started out really strong in last night's game. I thought he had an exceptional first period, gave up the 1 goal. And then obviously PD with the scoring plays they had there in the middle frame. We'll see what the response is from this team. But welcome into the pregame show. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. We will take our first break of this broadcast this evening. This will be a 2-minute break during the pregame show, and then we'll come back. This is Twin City Thunderbirds hockey.
Introducing Flow Rewards, the exclusive rewards program for Flow Automotive customers. With Flow Rewards, every vehicle purchase and service visit earns you points towards future maintenance on your vehicle. To start earning and redeeming Flow Rewards points, download Flow Garage, make an account, and add your vehicle. If your account is already set up with your vehicle, you'll start earning rewards points automatically. Add family members to your household to earn Flow Rewards points together. Don't miss out. Download the Flow Garage app to start earning Flow Rewards points with your next service visit or vehicle purchase.
Looking to exceed your real estate expectations? Meet Jennifer Sapp, passionate about real estate. Jennifer works with all clients, Because regardless of property value, every transaction is important to you, and that matters to her. She's been a proud sponsor of the Carolina Thunderbirds, supporting the community she loves. A consistent top producer, she's been helping people buy and renovate homes into their dream spaces. Call 336-782-3148 or visit jennifersapp.allentate.com.
Get into the swing of things at Tee It Up Indoors. Offering 3 simulators, over 11,000 virtual courses, lessons, club fittings, and a variety of snacks and beverages, Tee It Up Indoors is the place to go and work on your game. Call us at 336-285-7823 or visit our website at teeitupindoors.net.
Finish strong. Start here. Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist.
And welcome back live inside the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. Kendall Grayson with you on the broadcast. Twin City Thunderbirds hockey. The T-Birds looking to bounce back from the loss last night. And again, we'll see what they look like in tonight's game. But good start to the game certainly last night. They had some good power play looks, I thought, early on. The first 3 power plays of the game, I think they did everything but score. But credit the IceCats. Obviously a slow start, dropping by a couple of goals early on. And they were able to certainly put together a really strong second period and continue to play well throughout the remainder of the game. As we did last night, we'll let you know about some of our partners on the show this season. We had the national anthem presented by American Elevator last night. Of course, we'll have it again tonight. Geico of Winston-Salem brings us the starting lineup each and every game. We have the Pine Tree Tavern first period. Flo has the second period, longtime partner here. And Culver's also back this season will sponsor the third period. 3 stars of the game later on will be Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist. And the Amanzi Granite and Hard Surface hard hit of the game. We had several really good candidates for that last night. Bobo's Deli and Grill brings us the penalty kill every night. And so we'll be hearing from those folks as the season goes along here. They have finished the warm-up, and they've got just under 10 minutes on the clock before we get going for our opening frame of action. We'll keep you updated on scores from around the league tonight in the FPHL. This is the first full weekend. I mentioned earlier, Twin City didn't play last weekend. Several teams didn't play last weekend. And so this is really the first full weekend of hockey here in this league. But we'll keep you updated on the games tonight. So Binghamton will face off against Danbury, Watertown, and Port Huron in the matchup. Columbus and the Blue Ridge Bobcats that Twin City will see in their next game after tonight. That'll be Friday night right here next weekend, 7:35, the time of the puck drop in that one. Athens and Indiana will face off, also Biloxi and Topeka. And then finally tonight, a matchup with Baton Rouge and Monroe. That game scheduled to get going at 7:05 Central Time. Also 7:05 Central, the start for the Biloxi and Topeka game. But we're coming up here with our 6:05 start for tonight's contest. They're getting ready to go down to the tunnels, setting up the fog machines and the lights. And it was roaring in here last night. You could hardly hear yourself when this team took to the ice for the first time this season. Of course, they had the full team introduction. And head coach Steve Harrison back once again. You can catch the Coach Harry Show live on Tuesdays. That's at 7 o'clock at 3 locations this season. And just like last year, it's Earl's, where we will be next week, this coming Tuesday. Dave & Buster's and Little Italy. We had our most recent show at Little Italy, and Zach White was the guest on the show, did a really good job, and of course ended up scoring the goal there last night to get us going on the season. But he was really good, and those are up on our YouTube channel to go back and watch on replay. We throw those online on Thursdays after they run on Tuesday. So Steve Harrison back again. He'll be looking for his first win of this season. But this team was certainly in a fight last night, and we'll see. You know, if we have another high-scoring affair, we've seen this PD offense now the last couple of weeks they've been impressive, and the Thunderbirds were hanging with them there for a while in last night's game. Specialty teams is almost always a story. Goaltending is almost always a story. But for the specialty teams last night, it was PD that got the better of Twin City in those matchups. Very high-powered power play, the best power play in the league right now for the IceCats entering the weekend. And certainly they were able to prove that last night, scoring. But as I mentioned, you go back to the first period of last night's game, and Twin City had those looks on the power play. And that was, as much as PD, had given up a couple of goals, and they were looking to, manage the road environment and things they haven't seen this season in terms of playing on the road, as they played, on home ice last weekend. But, they were able to hold off those 3 power play attempts from Twin City. And I thought that went a long way, certainly, in what they were able to do later on. So it will be Boris Babick again in net for Twin City this evening as we get our starting lineup. And once again, it's Ricardo Gonzalez for the PD IceCats. So it's the same net-minding goaltending matchup that we had in last night's game. The backup netminder is Dyson Skinner tonight for the Thunderbirds. Chad Purdy last night. Let's see here as we'll go down the lineup sheet, but we'll see the announcement, or we'll hear the announcement of the Geico starting lineup as well, almost ready to go. And so we'll stay right here with you and then take a step back and let the crowd tell the story as this team hits the ice for the second time of the season, second time this weekend. No game tomorrow. And then the Thunderbirds back in action next weekend. Friday night, we're right back here. And looking forward to a 7:35 puck drop at a battle against Blue Ridge. So just waiting for the two teams to hit the ice, the officials to come out. And the officials were a little busy, I think, in calling penalties last night in terms of, there's a lot of minor penalties called, but they didn't have to really deal with too much rough stuff that went on. We saw a little bit of a disturbance with about a minute to go at center ice last night, but it was a physical game. Don't get me wrong there. It was a very physical game and just hard, a hard battle between the two teams. And I think, whether it's a high-scoring game or a low-scoring game tonight, I think it'll trend, probably in the direction of what we saw last night and more of a high-scoring affair. But regardless, there's going to be some physicality out there. And, Twin City, again, they had a lead last night in the first period. They're going to want to bounce back and prove that, they're going to be here for a long time throughout the season. And I think the projections will say that, these two teams, they see each other 13 times. This is matchup 2 of 13. They expect to play some really good games. And as I mentioned last night, PD was strong last weekend, and they didn't get the both wins they wanted. But you could tell early on here this is going to be a good hockey club, and they ended up proving that certainly later on in the game last night. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Pregame show underway here inside the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. Kendall Grayson with you on the broadcast. And so I mentioned the game, last night, the 2-goal difference at 6-4. But we'll see what type of result we get this evening. So once again, just waiting on this puck drop on the way here. 6:05 is the schedule. I think we'll be a little bit past that, just like last night. But again, thanks for joining us. Gary Graham, the head coach of the PD IceCats. He's already out on the bench, just waiting for the staff for the Thunderbirds, led by Steve Harrison, as I mentioned. And we hear the sound of the 3-minute warning before we'll get going here. So that will signal the teams that it's time to make their way out on the ice. We'll stay right here with you for the remainder of the pregame show. Here comes Coach Harrison. It'll be a nice ovation as he hits the ice, giving some fist bumps to some longtime fans. And we see it there on the video feed. They're hustling out there tonight. likely a different response for the next to hit the ice. And that's the officials. 2 referees, 2 linesmen this evening. Ron Johnson and Scott Singer are the referees. Jason Mesamore and Anders Gustafsson, the linesmen. And PD takes the ice first. They shut the lights out. And the Twin City Thunderbirds on their way. They'll greet this home crowd for the second time this season, the first time, though, on a Saturday night. With a lot on the line. They will want to avenge last night's result. And let's see if they can do that. As the smoke fills to our left, the red lights glowing. And the team in the black sweaters will step out next. And with that, we are ready to go for the first time on a Saturday night this season. Twin City Thunderbirds hockey, Kendall Grayson with you on the call. American Elevator presenting the national anthem. It's time for the Pine Tree Tavern first intermission. And the Thunderbirds, they'll move right to left. The IceCats, they skate left to right. Geico of Winston-Salem brings us the starting lineup. We heard them live. Jan Salak out there with Michael Mania, Sergei Sherbakov, Don Carter Jr., Yuri Pestuk, and the netminder Boris Babik. On the other side, just like last night, same goaltending matchup. It'll be Ricardo Gonzalez who got the win. Here we go, game number 2 of the 25-26 season. Sit back and enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in tonight. IceCats immediately will possess it from the opening face-off of the night. They'll drive it to the far side of the building. 13 seconds gone by in period number 1. Pine Tree Tavern first period. Unable to hold the line up high. Their misplaying was Jordan Popoff across the ice. A look to advance it. Batted down. Sergei Sherbakov looking for it. Far side of the building now. Bottom of the circle. He'll find it. Good easy pass to Yuri Peshtuka, looking to find Michael Manning with some speed. Right back onside, though, for the IceCats and Trevor Lord. Down behind the net, Boris Babik. Now he turns, looks over his right shoulder. The play's way out in front of him. Higher in the zone it goes. And a penalty called as Peshtuka couldn't play it. And to the power play early, the Twin City Thunderbirds. 19:13 left to go in period 1. And a stick infraction will give us a 5-on-4 situation. So it's a slash to Dustin Jessot, Scarborough, Ontario native. And this will be his 4th career game tonight. 187th career game overall. And so he takes a seat in the penalty box. And the power play goes to work. Petey to it, takes an on bounce there off a linesman. And the IceCats will chip it down the rink. Just 1 minute gone by, no score, but Twin City on the power play. Roman Kramer up the ice to Zach White. Picked off, it'll be a breakaway, shorthanded, look out, trouble here. The IceCats have it in front of the net, off the backhand, and it goes wide in the near side corner. That was Patrick Marcinkiewicz. And a great game he had last night. He scored, his brother had 3. Here come the Thunderbirds. They try to go between the legs out in front of the net there as White sort of had the stick underneath his legs and was looking to pull the puck towards the net. Gus Ford, good performance from him last night. Twin City with the heavy hitters out here on the power play. It's Roman Kramer, top of the near side circle. They'll get it back to the point. Long shot, it's blocked though. Gus Ford finds it again. Across one more time. White near side, and it just is out of the reach of the Thunderbirds, the near side here. And so that one went bouncing away. And down the ice it goes. They'll move it back quickly as Kramer was unable to hold that pass, but a really good look. And if that's clean to the tape of Roman Kramer, it's probably a 1-0 lead. John Boutita, the captain, in the defensive end of the giveaway. Look out, shorthanded break and a chance, and I think Babbitt got a piece of it. At least goes wide of the net. Well, the penalty's no longer showing on the board, by the way, but we're still playing 5-on-4, 17:44 left to go in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. The captain, Boutita, looking to play it forward, and eventually it's moved along by Keeley. Taken back behind the net. In front, Babbitt makes a pad save on it. Here's Don Carter Jr. I think PD realizes now that the penalty is not showing on the board. I think they must have it down to the scores table, counting it locally as we're playing on here. Thunderbirds onside. Jan Salak scored last night. Chips it down beneath the line. Near side now for Salak again as Boutita looked to play it. Went bouncing away from him off the end wall. Don Carter Jr. No look backhand pass there behind the net. Twin City goes to work. It's Stephen Ford up high. All the way across. Carter Jr. firing, and it goes skipping in behind the net of Gonzalez. Found by Boutita, then lifted in front of the goal, and found by PD, and we're playing 5-on-5 again as the IceCats will kill this one off early. Thunderbirds looking to steal it away in the defensive end. Giving up. Quick shot and a high riser, but it's blocked. Never made it to Boris Babbitt. Babbitt looks on. Played along the near side boards now. They'll slide it up high in the zone, just inside the blue line. No shot. They faked it. Razilov got it back. Razilov loads up, drives it, and it just went wide of the net. It finishes in the corner. Quick pass in front, backhand drive, and a save made by the glove hand of Boris Babbitt. A little bit of an attitude after that save. He wants everyone to know about it. Certainly frustrated from last night's performance, giving up the 6 goals, but looking to start just like he did last night. Really good in the first period. And so he makes an emphatic glove save. Defensive zone face-off, and they will throw out Gus Ford here. And so looked like Zach White wanted to take it. They'll have Roman Kramer with a defensive end face-off. Wins it up to White. It was Kramer to White that scored that first goal of the night last night. Back behind the goal, nearly given away. And we'll see what the Thunderbirds can do here in the attacking area. Kramer firing, and a glove save made by Gonzalez. Boris Babbitt, 6'2", 192, out of Slovakia, 6 foot 170. Michigan native for Ricardo Gonzalez. And so again, that's the goaltending matchup, just like we had here last night. Down behind the goal line in the attacking area once more for Twin City. High in the zone and out through center. Here they go. This is Scaldi. He's new to the lineup. Played in Italy last season. Across the rink for Skate Scaldi. Thunderbirds will try to track it down. They'll find it here with Ford. Chopped away. Kramer was looking to take it aside, but it's right back through center. IceCats 3-on-3 as they cross the line, looking for the first goal of the game. Thunderbirds look to get it back again, though, and they do. They'll slide it along. This goes off the stick of Adam Zimmerman. And he'll stay out there as the Thunderbirds roll a change. Nearly 5 minutes gone by in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. Kendall Grayson with you here on the broadcast. Twin City Thunderbirds hockey's second game of the year. 6-4 loss here on home ice in the opener last night. Thunderbirds look to bounce back. Fire down the rink, played off the backhand of the goal stick from Boris Babbitt near side. They'll hold it with Garrett Johnson, and Johnson could not hold the zone there for the IceCats. Just along the red line. Finding it now is Hippolyte Smith. Noah Hippolyte Smith. He'll move up the right wing, looks to chip it ahead, and then take it and slid back down the ice slowly. So no score, 14:33 left to play in the first period. And this one gets called back after the Thunderbirds went to retrieve it in the defensive zone. Media timeout, our first of the game. And it's about 90 seconds. We'll be right back.
Flo Cadillac is a proud sponsor of the Carolina Thunderbirds. Visit 1400 South Stratford Road for a free test drive. Or go online to flowcadillac.com to schedule a sales or service appointment.
When it comes to performance, speed matters, just like on the ice. Introducing same-day dental crowns right here at Twin Oaks Dentistry. With cutting-edge technology, we craft crowns on-site, eliminating the need for temporary. As proud sponsors of the Carolina Thunderbirds, we understand the need for top-notch performance. We're more than just dental care. We're your partners in achieving your best smile.
Welcome back inside the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. We are scoreless. Just over 5 minutes gone by in the matchup. And last night, Twin City on the board first with Zach White scoring at 5:45 and then a goal from Gus Ford at 8:17. So it was about this time of the hockey game last night when Twin City began the offense. Shots on goal just showing us 2-1 right now. Remember last night it was 25-10 in the first period in favor of the home squad. All right, we are back from the media timeout. Here's the face-off. It's won away by the IceCats, and they'll lift it out through center ice. It's in front of the home bench. Occupied, of course, by the Thunderbirds, led by head coach Steve Harrison. Back-to-back finals appearances for Coach Harrison, and 3 in a row overall for the organization. Sherbakov looked to play along the near side boards. They went flying by him. Yuri Pestuka gets back to help him out. So Pestuka pushes the play to Don Carter Jr. California native goes bouncing away from Michael Mania, who's from Bayville, New Jersey. Back behind the net. And Gonzalez will wait, or he'll look on there as they wait behind him. So the IceCats completing a change. We've got 13:45 to play in the first period. Back behind the net. They'll swing it to the near side. IceCats get it through center. They drive it forward up the left wing here. Could have a play. And on goal, the shot. And it goes blistering wide of the goal. So the Thunderbirds will survive. They'll try to do more than that as White gets it to Kramer. Roman Kramer shooting one. And a good save made there by Gonzalez, up and out of play. And so Zach White there on that play, returning the favor to Roman Kramer that he gave him last night, as it was Kramer's primary assist on the goal from Zach White. Similar looking play too, up the left wing side through the neutral zone. Pretty goal last night by Zach White. Gus Ford had a couple. Jan Salak had the one in the second period. But then a very quick answer after that. That made it a 4-3 game at that point. And then Marcinkiewicz, who had a really good night. Dominic Marcinkiewicz, his brother, also in the lineup. He scored shortly after. IceCats onside. They fire and score, and it's 1-0. And so there's the start, and it's Patrick's Marcinkiewicz. So Marcinkiewicz on the board in the first period last night, and here he is again in the first period tonight. 13:12 left to play in the Pine Tree Tavern first period, and it's 1-0 for the visitors. So face off on the new logo at center ice following the opening goal of tonight's game. So down the rink it goes, played here by the netminder Ricardo Gonzalez. So 1-0 for the visitors. 7 minutes gone by now in the hockey game. They cross onside again. Look out, another play in front of the net. This time Babic has it with a glove save. So we play 5-on-5, even strength scoring play from the IceCats. Down behind the goal line it goes. We're back. Ryan Glazier. He'll chop at it for Twin City. Here's John Butita, the captain. Butita slides it across, looking for an option, and finding it was Nate Keeley. They announce the goal now. Dion Demke, long shot. Save made. They're looking for it. There it is, and they just couldn't put it in. Butita looking for it to the near side, and he had a great chance. It rolls away. And it remains a 1-0 lead for the IceCats. A high flip in from the neutral zone. Thunderbirds do it. They nearly had numbers down low there on a 2-on-1 with Glazer, who's taken down behind the goal line. He had John Butita in front of the goal. Dion Demke slides it right across through center to Adam Zimmerman. Armstrong, British Columbia native Zimmerman. Big body at 6'4", 225. Thunderbirds have it onside. They'll lose possession of it. They're trying to tie the hockey game here. Down by one in front of chance. They look to fire. They do, and it goes wide. That was Jan Salak looking for his second of the season. Salak fighting for it across the ice, just out of the reach of Yuri Pestuka. High they go, though. Long shot bouncing in front. Who will find it? The IceCats do. And they lift it all the way down the ice. Played just along the goal line to the left of Boris Babic. 11:35 now to play in the first period. Shots on goal are even at 3. The score, however, is not, as the IceCats have taken a 1-0 lead here on the road. Thunderbirds have it with Sherbakov. Fires in from center. No one there, and this is going to go for icing. So Patrick's Marcinkiewicz with a goal at 6:48, officially unassisted, at least for now, and that's an even strength scoring play. Quickly driven in on goal from the face-off. Boris Babic makes a save on it. It's chipped down behind the goal line. 11:11 to play in period 1. Collected and moved forward here by the IceCats from the defensive end. They'll move with speed up the right wing. Patrick's Marcinkiewicz. He's got the goal tonight. Thunderbirds take it away nicely, though. Zach White had a play behind the goal. He goes there. And they look to play it now further in the zone. It's Roman Kramer. Kramer chipping it to White, then Ford. Here we go, maybe a 2-on-1 if they hurry. They try to get to White. He's open in front of the goal. Looks to fire. He does. He scores! Tie game at 1. 10:41 to play in the first period. And just like he did last night, Zach White gets us going with the first Thunderbirds goal of the evening. Tie game, 1-1. Well, it goes without saying, but we'll do it anyway. That's a huge answer. The way the last night's game finished in the second half of the night, and the way this one was going with the Thunderbirds trailing. Huge goal to make it 1-1. PD looks to play in from center. Instead, they'll go way back into the defensive end. They announce the goal, and this crowd loves it. Onside again for the IceCats, though. Look out. And picked off nicely by Roman Kramer. Kramer on the intercept. Looking to play it out along the logo at center ice and nearly stole it away after Chance Adrian got it back. For PD, Adrian scored in last night's game. Down behind the goal line, Boris Babic sets it up for Dion Demke. Demke wearing number 36 this season for Twin City. Dangerous pass there, picked off, and Boris Babic, he'll make a save on it. So they intercepted the play there at the blue line, and then the long-range shot was taken care of by Babic. This will be the second media timeout of the first period, about 90 seconds. This is Twin City Thunderbirds hockey.
Gwin Services has been serving North Carolina for over 50 years, ensuring the safety and comfort of our customers' homes. We take pride in bringing together the best electricians, plumbers, and heating and cooling technicians to bring convenience and unbeatable value to our customers. Life can be hectic. What better way to simplify than to have one company you trust to take care of all of your home's repair needs? Since 1972, integrity and customer satisfaction have been at the heart of everything we do. We are proud to have built a name our neighbors trust, one that provides peace of mind and a service that can be relied on, today, tomorrow, and for years to come. Thank you for trusting Gwin Services with your home. We are proud to stand behind the work we do every single day to serve our friends and neighbors here in North Carolina. We are Gwin Services. One call does it all.
Well, what an answer there from Zach White and his team to make it 1-1 as we return from the media timeout here in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. Flo brings us the second period, and then it's Culver's in the third period. Defensive zone face-off for Nate Keeley. Keeley with 22 career goals. Looks over his right shoulder, wants to win it to Butita. Well, played along by the IceCats. Long-range shot through traffic. That was dangerous, and it goes wide to the far side corner. So PD back on the attack here, looking to take the lead in the matchup. 9.5 to play in the first period. Tie game at 1. Noah Hippolyte-Smith jumped in there, looking to make a play high in the zone. Then it was nearly thrown in front of the goal, but Keeley's there. Keeley's got it. And it goes back to Noah Hippolyte-Smith up the left wing. Here we go, Butita. Can he track it down? Yes, he's open in front of the net. Fires one, looking for a short side play, and it goes wide back behind the goal. There was some open space to shoot there for the captain. Down behind the goal line, and then this pass is going to miss Don Carter Jr. That one really not his problem as he tried to stretch out and find it. Just an errant pass there in the zone, so they'll have to reload and try this again. It's Keeley off the backhand. John Butita. This team can feel it now with some momentum. They've tied it up. They're looking for another one. Twin City led in the first period last night, 2-0 and then 2-1. It was 2-1 after one. But then the IceCats really got to their game. 8:35 to play in period 1. Tie game 1-1. Shots on goal officially showing to us as 4-4. And behind the goal of Gonzalez this time, just off the side of his net. And Twin City changing. This is going to go for icing. No, they wave it off. The linesman will let this play continue on. So the big defender out of Russia, Sergei Sherbakov, plays it back behind the goal. And then eventually they look to play it up to center ice, and they do. Sherbakov out of rush, as I mentioned, 6'4", 185. Onside for PD. Right to the point, they'll take it with Houston Wilson. Then it goes to Patrick Marcinkiewicz. There's a hit from Michael Mania. Goes off on a change. Roman Kramer will replace him. Played forward. 6:48 to play in the first period. High through center. Speaking of Roman Kramer, actually once broadcasted one of his junior games in the USHL as he was with the Youngstown Phantoms. That was a matchup between Youngstown and Tri-City at the Fall Classic. And here we are all these years later. Top of the far side circle, bottom now, as they'll now advance it out through center. 2-on-1, here we go. Thunderbirds look to take the lead. They slide it across, bouncing around. Kramer's there, fouled. They slide it once more. They fire one, and a great save made on James Farmer. Otherwise, it's 2-1. 7 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the first. And just like last night, these two putting on a show. Chance in on goal, blocked there by the long reach of Sergei Sherbakov. From the side of the circle. Good check applied by James Farmer. They find a play through center, looking for a wide open Gus Ford, who scored twice last night, including one in the first period. They go across the rink, a chance, in on goal, good save made. And they bat it around. Here's White, and blocked, and so this is going to be found. The puck retrieved just along the logo. They drag it back into the defensive zone. 6:34 left to go. And period number one, here comes Farmer. And PD wanted an offside call there. They didn't get it. So the Thunderbirds still with it on the attack. Now back for the IceCats, and we'll see if they can take it away. They will, but it's back to center ice now, so they will regroup with Dion Demke sliding it to James Farmer, and then eventually up the left wing. Glazier looking for an option, rolls in front of the goal, and it's played just off the side of the net by Gonzalez. PD slicing through center, long shot here as they cross over the line, turned away by Boris Babek. That was on Dustin Jasso. They'll drive it in front of the goal, still onside. Found by Twin City, Butita calling for it, and they try to get it to him. There's a big hit along the blue line. And we'll play stop here. We continue on. We'll keep playing. Jackson LeGros, he's injured. Skating off, hurting. Meanwhile, Twin City with it. Butita, who laid the hit. They'll flip it in on goal and covered up by Gonzalez. Well, PD will certainly have some words there for the captain, Butita. And he's been around long enough. He knows that if he has to answer for something, he certainly is prepared to do it. But everyone will settle down for now. .531 left to go in this opening frame of action. Well, head coach for the IceCats, Gary Graham, arguing for a penalty on that hit from Butita. I mentioned Jackson LeGros was shaken up there. Hopefully he'll be able to continue on in the hockey game. Don't want to see anyone leave with an injury, but he is struggling there on the bench, being looked at by the training staff. He's got his helmet off, and they're taking a look at him. And I think, unfortunately, he may have to come out here, and he will. He's got his helmet on, and he'll head towards the locker room. Well, the fans will give him a round of applause. As I mentioned, never want to see that, and that was a big collision. I think that's the biggest collision we've seen so far in the season. Just a game and change in now, but that was a heavy hit along the blue line. Near side corner, back behind the goal, it's Salak, and at Twin City looking to take the lead. And he faked it in front, loose, and covered up by Gonzalez. They gave him the early whistle there, but he was eventually able to grab it and protect it. Shots on goal favoring the home squad 8-5 now. in what is a tie game at 1. 5:19 left to play in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. 6-4 loss here on home ice last night to open the season for Twin City. And they've got it tied here in the first period. Face-off win. Shot is blocked, though, as the bounce goes high in the zone, and eventually it's played through center. Taken back aside, though, by Adam Zimmerman. They'll throw it onside, looking for it, but Petey's got plenty of time and space to make a play, and they'll move it out to center ice. Nearly stolen away by Peshtuka after it was played ahead. Back into the defensive zone. Look out, could be a chance up the wing. Trevor Lord, he's in, shoots, and a good save made by Babick. He falls on it, no further action as he keeps this game in a 1-1 tie. All right, that's the media timeout. If you couldn't tell, we'll be right back. Tie game at 1.
Pam's back pain was controlling her life. Novant Health's spine surgery team repaired a damaged disc, and within hours, Pam was walking pain-free. Novant Health, best surgeons, amazing nurses, remarkable care.
I want to stop losing sleep over this. I want to know that surgery is the right decision. I want to protect what I've built. I want a plan designed just for me. I want to know that I'm in excellent hands. I want the latest and greatest. I want to continue to grow, no matter what life throws my way.
For the best surgical care, you want Novant. Novant Health, best surgeons, amazing nurses, remarkable care.
All right, tie game at 1, and the final media timeout of Pine Tree Tavern first period nearly over. We'll keep you updated on scores from around the league this evening. But several matchups on hand. We've got this early start at 6:05, and so the other games across the league not yet going on. But when they do, it'll be Binghamton and Danbury at 7, Watertown and Port Huron at 7:05, 7:30 start for Columbus and Blue Ridge. Athens and Indiana will play at 7:30. And then at 8:05 Eastern, Biloxi at Topeka and Baton Rouge at Monroe. We're back. Petey's won the face-off here. 4:40 to play in the first period. They'll miss the pass to center, though. They have to go find it at center with Konstantin Chernik. And now they settle it again. Marcin Kevics, but eventually taken aside by Dion Demke. Petey looking to step up on a hit. Roman Kramer will find it. Here's Kramer up the wing. Looks to go in front of the goal, he does, and just out of the reach of Gus Ford, who was streaking down the left side. Here's White with a shot, and tried to find his own rebound way out in front of the goal. Here come the IceCats. They'll step onside, then it goes back out to the red line. 4:09 to play in the first, and we're tied at 1. Shots on goal still favoring the Thunderbirds at 8-6. Farmer picks it up behind the goal as they move it across, eventually out through the neutral zone. Thunderbirds find it. They drive it just wide of the net, as this crowd continues to make some noise here in the opening frame. Thunderbirds gave them a lot to cheer about last night. They had the lead after 20 at 2-1. And a pretty good start tonight. 1-1 the score. Looking for it over the blue line. This is played by Noah Hippolyte-Smith, who was falling down. A couple of IceCats converge on each other. Didn't mean to do it, and they'll try to find a change as well while they're at it. Played forward by Butita. It was just chipped in by him from the red line and center with 3:09 to play in the first period. All the way around the boards. It was trapped, though, along the half wall. Give it away. Butita wide open in front of the goal. Backhander. Oh, what a save made. And it's still free. Can they find it? Thunderbirds cannot drive it ahead. But Ricardo Gonzalez, remember that one, as that was a key play. What a save. That close to being a 2-1 lead like it was last night here in the first period. Thunderbirds find it. John Butita stretches across to Sergei Sherbakov. Sherbakov, he's pressured and off the backhand, eventually given away. PD could not control through center with Skate Scaldi. But eventually they will lift the puck onside. Just under 2.5 to play in the opening period. It's a 1-1 game here at the fairgrounds. Move down the ice. we'll see if the Thunderbirds can take it aside. Still controlled, though, by PD. They've got time. Out to center. Lifted in behind Boris Babic. Tried to slow the progression of the puck and the speed. A collision along the far side here. Grabbing his face is Jan Salak. And we'll see if he's all right. Meanwhile, they cross over the blue line, but it's called back for an offside. So Jan Salak goes down there, grabbing towards his face. And I think he wanted a penalty. And sorry, that's Dion Demke. That's 36, not 16. Thought height-wise that looked a little strange, and that's why it was Demke. So Dion Demke was the one that was knocked down. Salak's about to take this face off here. And there we go. It's back to Zimmerman and Twin City. Zach White with the answer, the game's most recent goal to bring it to a 1-1 tie at 9:19 of the Pine Tree Tavern first period. Even strength scoring play assisted by Gus Ford. It was Patrick's Marcinkiewicz who scored earlier at 6:48. We got 90 seconds to play in the period. Look out, dangerous play there on the side of the net for Boris Babic, but Twin City takes it back again. Here come the Thunderbirds. There's a hit on Salak. He really stayed on his skates there, but was certainly held up as he went spinning around. So that slowed his momentum. We've got a change in progress. Look out, Zimmerman just blows a tire. This is trouble, one-on-one the other way, and good defensive effort there by James Farmer, not letting that play develop any more than it already had. So Farmer was able to help shut that down. We got 1 minute to go in the first period. 1-1 tie, and the goal scorer for the Thunderbirds, Zach White, looking to play it. Across they go, bouncing around, high in the zone towards the net, and this shot goes well wide. From the side of the circle, back behind the goal line, 42 seconds to play in period one. IceCats keep it alive, they drive one and score. That one goes between the legs of Boris Babic, and they'll take the lead late in this first period at 2-1. Shots on goal now 9-7 as the seventh shot goes in. And I think it was Trevor Lord there on the far side, but that's a tough one to give up momentum-wise. Looked like the Twin City was going to be able to get it to the break at 1-1. And speaking of the break, coming up in our first intermission break, we will have a listen to an excerpt from the Coach Harry Show that was live back on Tuesday at Little Italy. And, of course, we post that every Thursday on the YouTube page. And so we'll take a listen to part one of that conversation, Coach Harry, Zach White, and myself. And then part two, we'll take a listen to that in the second intermission break. But that'll be the programming here on the video portion of the broadcast for the majority of the first intermission break. Just 22 seconds now left to go as that one was batted down along the blue line. Offensive end face-off, chopped at, and back behind the goal line. Just 15 seconds left to go. This is in the attacking area of the Thunderbirds, looking to tie late here in this period. Back behind the net. 7 seconds left in the opening frame. Sherbakov leans up, looks to fire. Hippolyte Smith, and eventually taken to the break. No horn, but it's now showing 0. We've got a 2-1 score after 1. So Zach White gets the Thunderbirds on the board at 9:19 of the Pine Tree Tavern first period. The goal was assisted by Gus Ford. And that's the lone scoring play for the Thunderbirds. A couple in behind Boris Babic to make it 2-1. First intermission break is on the way. Again, the programming on the video side of things will be the interview from the Coach Harry Show back on Tuesday earlier this week. Part one, and then part two will be during the second intermission break. We'll step aside here on the broadcast. It is a good game again, entertainment value, but once again, just like at the end of the game last night, the Thunderbirds are down. We'll see if they can tie it up coming up in the second period. 2-1 after 1. This is Twin City Thunderbirds hockey.
I want to stop losing sleep over this. I want to know that surgery is the right decision. I want to protect what I've built. I want a plan designed just for me. I I want to know that I'm in excellent hands. I want the latest and greatest. I want to continue to grow, no matter what life throws my way.
For the best surgical care, you want Novant. Novant Health. Best surgeons, amazing nurses, remarkable care.
I want to stop being sidelined by pain. I want to tell him I'm in. I want a surgeon who speaks more knees than he can count. I want the best care in the game. I want a team that's with me every step of the way. I want to bounce back fast. I want to show them my best is yet to come.
For the best orthopedic care, you want Novant. Novant Health. Best surgeons, amazing nurses, remarkable care.
I want to know it's nothing I did. I want to hear we caught your cancer early. I want an expert to explain things to me. I want the newest and best treatment. I want to know if I'm going to lose my hair. I want to be okay with that, even if I'm not. I want to win this fight.
For nationally recognized cancer care, you want Novant. Novant Health. Best physicians, amazing nurses, remarkable care.
Introducing Flow Rewards, the exclusive rewards program for Flow Automotive customers. With Flow Rewards, every vehicle purchase and service visit earns you points towards future maintenance on your vehicle. To start earning and redeeming Flow Rewards points, download Flow Garage, make an account, and add your vehicle. If your account is already set up with your vehicle, you'll start earning rewards points automatically. Add family members to your household to earn Flow Rewards points together. Don't miss out. Download the Flow Garage app to start earning Flow Rewards points with your next service visit or vehicle purchase.
Maple Chase Golf and Country Club offers the best in recreational amenities in the Triad. Come enjoy a meal at the Pinebrook Bar and Grill, relax by our pool and cabana, and gear up at the Pro Shop while sharpening your skills on our 9,000 square foot putting green and play around on our 18-hole Ellis Maples Design Championship Golf Course. You can find out more at maplechasecc.com. That's maplechasecc.com.
Finish strong. Start here. Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist.
Did you know that the Tire Pressure Management System, or TPMS, alerts you when tire pressure is too low and could create unsafe driving conditions? If this light is illuminated, it means your tires could be underinflated. Schedule your next tire service appointment in the Flow Garage app. The more you know, with Flow.
The opening weekend of the season for us. There were some games in the league last weekend, and we talked about that going into last weekend, Coach. But PD, the opponent this weekend, did play last weekend, and you said you were going to get an opportunity to take a look at them, and maybe we can start with them and give a preview of what you saw.
Well, I got to watch some of the games on Friday. I watched a little bit of that game there. They played Columbus, and it's what I kind of expected. Both teams are played very well. Actually, I don't think anybody scored until the third period. They're late in the second period, so. The typical first game. I thought it was good to watch the way they played, the way things they do there, and they're both experienced teams, and that's the one thing that's going to be in this league this year. A lot of experience, a lot of teams coming in here that guys have actually played at different levels and with a lot of experience. So I think from a fan standpoint, I think they're going to really enjoy this year of the level of competition. And as I said, from what I saw on Friday and then Saturday, things kind of opened up. I think things started to relax a little bit. And as I said, it's going to be one of those leagues this year where I think if you know how to play away from the puck, I think you're going to be in pretty good position, because I think everyone's going to be wanting to run and gun and play that type of style. And the one thing that, we scored a lot of goals last year, but the thing that made us a very good hockey team is how we played away from the puck. And I'm going to have to rely on, especially the guys up front. We're a little inexperienced on the back as we start. And it's not that I don't like them. It's just a matter of they're not as experienced as I think as we've had in the past. So it's going to be the guys up front who are going to have to show them the way and how to play away from the puck.
That's got to be scary for you, huh?
Watching you do that, yeah. But no, I think that if we know how to play and we do a good job of doing that this year, I think we're going to have a successful year. And as I said, I really like what we got going here right now. As I said, it's not your typical team that I've had here for 2 years. It's going to be a little different, but nothing's going to change on the hard work, the way we're playing and the way we want to play as a group. And as I said, it's just there's going to be different unfamiliar faces to the crowd, but I think they're going to enjoy them. As I said, the energy they bring is great, and we're just going to have to work as a team. And so I'm really looking forward to this year on as I said, coaching a little different with the players, and because as I said, with the different players that we have, so it should be a fun year.
Are we going to start calling you Herb Brooks now? Or?
Herbie?
You're going to make us do more suicides out there?
No. So I don't want to blow the whistle that much.
You just want to put your yelling outfit on?
Yeah, my yelling outfit. I had that on today for a minute, so I had to get the tempo going a little bit today. So
someone's got to do it, right?
Someone's got to do it.
It's not going to be me.
But no, I as I said, and then I watched Danbury played Port Huron, and just another typical Danbury Port Huron game, and so nothing really surprised me this year. As I said, I just like the level. I like the way the teams played and the level, and so it should be a fun and interesting year. And what you want from the games, you want them tight. You don't want everyone likes to win those 10-0 games, and once in a while, from my standpoint, it's kind of nice. From their standpoint, they all get their cookies. But as I said, I think for the most part, most people like those games that you win 4-2, and it's a great game, and you do score that goal, and you get your cookie. But that cookie really means something, and so I think that's what more people enjoy, and I think the fans really enjoy it. As I said, I think the fans last year, we talked about the one game we lost 1-0, how good a game it was, and so those are things that I see from this year. And Petey's going to come in this weekend with a very experienced team, very veteran like, and they've had 2 games under their belt, so they're going to be a little more familiar with what they're doing. But we're going to be at home. We're going to have our home crowd behind us, which is going to help. And as I said, it'll be a battle, and right from the start. But the way I look at it and the way practice has gone so far, I can't see the way we're not going to be ready for Friday.
And let's go back to the practice. I know that fans always want to know about the numbers. There's a couple of players that have been cut already. We've got some final hard decisions to make coming up here the next couple of days. So where do things stand going into Friday night roster-wise, and what you're dealing with?
20's definitely out.
20. I'm just going to let that go.
Yeah.
Okay, I had a line for it, but I'm just going to let it go.
Okay.
But no, we released 2 guys here today, and so we're down. I think the forward lines right now for Friday is kind of set. We still got some decisions to be made on the back end, and that's what coaches want. Coaches, that I tell the players when they come in here, you want me to not sleep at nights, and if you do that, then that tells me that they want to be here, and that it's hard to cut you, or it's hard to release you, or maybe have to trade you, or do something like that. So when you do that, and at the end of the day, if that's what you've done, and you made the coach not sleep very well the night before, you've done your job. And it doesn't always work out, but you can go home and or do whatever you're going to do, and you should feel good about yourself, because you laid it out on the line. You made it hard on them, and sometimes there's hard decisions. And being in the seat that I'm in, sometimes it's not always the fun part of the game, having to tell players certain things, or releasing people, and you see the disappointment. And Whitey and I talked today about the one thing that I hope I never forget is sitting on the other side of the chair, and how those people feel at the time. And as I said, as long as I coach, I try to remember that one day I was sitting in that seat. So I want to be respectful, and I want to make sure and try to help them out. But there's going to be some hard decisions, and so far I give the players a lot of credit. They've made it hard on me, and I rely on the older guys too to give me some input, because it's their team too. And as I said, talking to them, it's they think they've worked hard too. So it's going to be a tough decision, and I got to make that in the next couple of days.
Is that why we're skating more? Because you can't sleep?
I can't sleep.
You don't know what drills to do?
I haven't slept much lately, but we're okay though.
That's good to hear. Whitey, I was going to go there next, actually. So, you're part of a group that's coming back from last season. Obviously, some great memories and success last year as well. How was it just to be back? I think I asked Coach this, back in show number 1 that we did a few weeks ago. But for you, what's it like to be back and be practicing with your teammates again? A lot of new faces, but of course, a lot of guys that you know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously came back for a reason. I like a lot of the guys, the coaches, okay, but no, I'm kidding. Good coach. Main reason why I'm back is because I like how he coaches, and he has a lot of good systems, and he kind of lets us play freely, so that's a big thing. And the new guys coming in, everyone's very nice, respectful, and I think that makes it easier to kind of gel with everyone, whereas there's no egos as much as some other places that I've played. So I think in relation to that, it just makes a good culture, and we can build off that, and things don't start off great. Guys are willing to learn and grow and develop, so that's part of a positive culture environment for us.
But how much of the French do you remember? Can you speak? Can you chirp in French? How did that go when you were over there?
Petit peu français, so not too much, but there's some things that you do remember, and some things that you probably shouldn't say. But there is a couple of things, and I have a French family that I talk to still, and I'd love to go out and see them when I'm done playing, and they want me to come back out there. So it would be nice to touch up on my Duolingo, but we'll see how much I can retain from back then. Not too much right now, but I do enjoy the language. I think it's very beautiful.
That's one of those things that I learned this because even when I was in Finland, you learn some of the language, and usually it's always hello and those kind of things, and then once you start talking, you have to translate it back into English and then try to say it back in French. And when you start doing that, then that's when you get in trouble. So
I'm about 6 years later.
Yeah, you're about 6. So that's when as soon as you're sitting there, they'll say something to you, and then you're like, and you're in your head, and you're like this, and then they know right away, like they've stumped you after bonjour and ça va.
The light bulb definitely broke.
The light bulb burns very quickly.
Coach, I know this is something that's a big topic with the fans, and something from around the league last weekend that we were following. But any insight on the suspensions that happened? You mentioned the Danbury and Port Huron series. Anything you'd like to say about that and what you saw?
I think we had a meeting with all the coaches and the referees a couple weeks ago when I first got here, and the new NHL, when I say new NHL rules, they've just basically adapted all the NHL rules, and we got away from some of the ones we have.
Did you know that not changing your engine oil can result in engine failure? Regular oil changes can extend the life of your engine and reduce the risk of engine failure. Schedule your next oil change on the Flow Garage app. The more you know with Flow.
Looking for more than a job? At Flow Automotive, we're building careers and futures. Whether you're starting in service, sales, or support, you're joining a team built on trust and driven by purpose. We invest in your growth with hands-on training, mentorship, and clear paths to advance. Every role matters, and every day you help deliver the Flow experience. Looking for something outside of the showroom? Our management services team is where creative, operational, and support professionals thrive. We provide care for the whole person with employee pricing, wellness programs, scholarship programs for children of employees, and comprehensive benefits that grow with you. Flow Automotive is guided by ethics, powered by people, and committed to your future. Start your journey with Flow Automotive. Your path starts here. Let's grow together.
Every car gets warning lights, but did you know the color actually means something too? Red indicates an issue that requires immediate attention. Orange indicates a less urgent issue, like a vehicle service requirement. Blue and green give you information on lights and indicators. The more you know with Flow.
Quinn Services has been serving North Carolina for over 50 years, ensuring the safety and comfort of our customers' homes. We take pride in bringing together the best electricians, plumbers, and heating and cooling technicians to bring convenience and unbeatable value to our customers. Life can be hectic, What better way to simplify than to have one company you trust to take care of all of your home's repair needs? Since 1972, integrity and customer satisfaction have been at the heart of everything we do. We are proud to have built a name our neighbors trust, one that provides peace of mind and a service that can be relied on, today, tomorrow, and for years to come. Thank you for trusting Gwynn Services with your home. We are proud to stand behind the work we do every single day to serve our friends and neighbors here in North Carolina. We are Gwynn Services. One call does it all.
Being your best is hard. You gotta take care of yourself. You got your husband.
Let's put in a pool. For the kids.
For the kids. Forget the car. How about a motorcycle?
And if you own a business?
We need servers from, like, this century.
Yeah.
At a Legacy Federal Credit Union, we're committed to helping you be your best you. Whether it's with an unbeatable car loan rate, home equity line of credit, or small business help.
Who's the best?
Visit alegacy.org for our best rates.
Coach, we've been talking about training camp here in the last couple of shows, and I know that... And welcome back inside the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. Kendall Grayson with you, Twin City Thunderbirds hockey. It's a 1-goal lead for the visitors, the PD IceCats. They won last night by a 2-goal margin. Final score was 6-4. And this is the rematch here tonight. It's the final game of the weekend, and Twin City looking to bounce back and find a win. And if they can do it, it would be win number 1 on the season. It would be special to do it here on home ice on this Saturday night. But it was Patrick Marcinkiewicz opening the scoring with Timur Razilov and Jordan Pompov assisting on the goal. That was an even strength scoring play at 6:48. Zach White answered back at 9:19 with Gus Ford supplying the assist on the game-tying goal. But then in the final minute, 19:22, it was Trevor Lord with the scoring play. And the visitors are up by a goal. We hear the applause, and that's because the support staff and the head coach back on the bench for the Thunderbirds. Steve Harrison returning with his support staff that he speaks so highly of. And those guys do a great job over there. Almost through the first intermission break. We've got just a couple of minutes before we'll get going here for the Flow second period. But a 1-goal game at 2-1. Out of town scoreboard report, and we were the first game this evening at 6:05, and so no games going on, but a couple about to begin right now. That's Binghamton at Danbury, Watertown at Port Huron, a 7 and a 7:05 start. 7:30 tonight for Columbus and Blue Ridge. Athens with a 7:30 Eastern Time start against Indiana. And then the Central Time starts at 7:05, so that'll be an hour from now at 8:05 Eastern. Biloxi on the road to play Topeka, and Baton Rouge on the road to face off against Monroe. Here come the Thunderbirds. They're back for period number 2. And so each team will switch sides of the rink, and we'll see the black sweaters with the red and white trim. They'll move left to right. The primary white sets for PD. They'll be skating right to left. Jacob Crespo and Jacob Schnapp both out of the lineup tonight. And so here we go for the Flow second period. Jan Salak out there. Sergei Sherbakov on defense. Michael Mania, Don Carter Jr. and Yuri Pastuka. The Flow's second period begins even strength at 5-on-5. 1-goal deficit for Twin City. Face off to the logo at center. And Jan Salak will match up as he looks across the red line. Patrick Marcinkiewicz will try to win it away from him. He can't. Salak, clean face-off win. Back to Don Carter Jr. Moved across the ice and then thrown onside by the Thunderbirds. They attack to our right. 10 seconds gone by in the Flow second period. Here's Don Carter Jr. off the backhand, flips it along, just along the red line. Batted down. They look to play it ahead. It's Yuri Peshtuka. Up the wing he comes, across now. No shot. Haney looks to drop it in front of the goal. Salak finds it back behind the cage. Centers, and they miss the pass. They'll rip it around, though. Here's Don Carter. Steps up and doesn't fire. He's forced out wide. Now Mania fires one wide. It's off the end wall, looking for a lively bounce. And out to the neutral zone. Thunderbirds changing. They'll find it there. Zach White has Twin City's lone goal in the game. Here's White from the defensive end. Snaps it along quickly. Up it goes. Ford chips it to White, looking for a play. Kramer with him there. And Roman Kramer applies the check along the blue line. Just a bump. And this one's way up and out of play off the deflection as PD brought it the other way. And this one's ripped wide. It hits the glass as we're back. PD on the attack, looking to increase their lead in the matchup. It's 2-1 for now. Long shot, and Babic deals with it. Good left pad save made by Boris Babic. Watches it go to the far side of the building. Now it's dug free in the corner. They look to dance out in front, and they'll do that. It's in the danger zone there. Loose in front of the goal, but eventually found by Twin City. Good pass forward to Kramer. Roman Kramer's in, shooting one. Not much of an angle there. That was going to be tough to drive it to the upper portion of the net, but he tried to score. And it was left out in front of the goal after Gonzalez saw it brought away from him and eventually down the ice for the IceCats. Long shot. Babin makes the save, gave up a big rebound, and Twin City will survive. It's played by Ford, 3-on-2. Here's Gus Ford out of his reach, and a line change on the far side of the building. 2 minutes gone by in the second. Here's White, loads up, shoots one. He was looking for the near side there in the upper portion of the goal, but he blasted it off the glass wide of the net. So that one misses its target. Played ahead by Dominic Marcinkiewicz of PD down the ice. And this is going to come all the way back as the IceCats are guilty of the icing. Shots on goal are even at 10 apiece. Face off along the right side. And this is Keeley looking to win it back behind him. It's John Butita off the glass behind the goal. Thunderbirds trying to tie it up here early on in the second frame. To center he goes, then played along the red line. Backtracking there into the defensive end was Stephen Ford. Played away from him. Wide open play in front of the goal here. Look out. Babic is able to make the save as there was heavy pressure in front of the goal. James Farmer looking to get an advantage there defensively on Patrick Marcinkiewicz. Face off in the defensive zone for Nate Keeley. Keeley looks to win it. Taken away from him quickly, though, by the IceCats. And into the corner, they'll look to chase it down. Chance Adrian scored in last night's game. Across they go. We'll see if the big defender, Sergei Sherbakov, makes a play on it. He got to it, but then turned away right to the IceCats. And Babic had to make a save from a long-range shot. He batted it down. Play continues on. They center. No one home this time. And Sergei Sherbakov finds it. Now across they go with it. They'll look to bump it out towards center. And PD's able to hold the line here. They'll get it to Razilov. Tees one up, but it's blocked. Don Carter looking for the captain and the player assistant coach, Butita. Here's Carter breaking in with it and had an option in front of the goal. I think he wanted to go that way, but the puck just hopped on him and eventually found by Glazier. They move it around, blocked in front of the net. There was a play there for Butita, played for by Carter Jr., and then eventually blasted out of the zone by the IceCats. This should go for icing, though. They'll make them skate after it, and there's the icing. And head coach Gary Graham of the IceCats, I think, speaking to the officials about that one. So 16:24 now left to go in the second. It's a 1-goal advantage for PD here on the road. And so the conversations continue all around. There's words being had from the Thunderbirds bench. And we'll have a 5-on-5 face-off in the attacking area. Here's Salak. And false start. They'll hold him. And do it again. This time they will throw Salak out. And we'll see who draws in to take it. Looks like it'll be Yuri Peshtuka. Peshtuka. He leans over. Finally, we're playing hockey again. And Salak held up off the face-off, chopping at it, looking to hold it onside here. And it's taken away. Played forward by PD. Salak will move it for the Thunderbirds and right back for the IceCats. Captured by Trevor Lord. Lord skates it down behind the goal line. Then he'll move it through the neutral zone. It was eventually played off a deflection way down the rink. And Boris Babic, the goaltender this weekend so far for the Thunderbirds, started in both games. He's able to set it up, and Twin City looking to play it now out through center. Back and forth we go, and icing called against PD once more. So another quick stoppage here, 15:46 left to go in our second period. Kendall Grayson here with you on the broadcast. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in, making this Twin City Thunderbirds broadcast part of your evening. We are in the flow, second period. And face-off victory. It goes back to Farmer. Long drive, and it's knocked down, chopped at by Gus Ford. And that one almost worked out for the Thunderbirds. That shot was going wide of the goal, but once it hit something in front of the net, it made its way towards goaltender Ricardo Gonzalez. Far side, pushed at just along the blue line. And up to center ice they go with it. Nick Gullo. Gullo looking to put it onside for PD. They're also rolling a change across the rink, and so it's found by the Thunderbirds back behind the goal. Played ahead by Sergei Sherbakov. Sherbakov up to Zach White. Then along they go. Onside a chance. Ford in front. Drags it. Kramer fires. He just missed. It's off the glass. A riser of a shot. And a great look down low that time for Twin City, trying to tie the game down by a goal. They'll try it again. Fan shot. Didn't go anywhere. There's the one-timer. Looking for a play from Zach White. Looking to clean it up in front of the goal. They couldn't do it, though. Maybe a 3-on-2 here for the IceCats. They look to move it across. They do. They fire one, and that one stays out. Might have got a piece of the pipe. Another drive, and this time Boris Babic definitely got that one. Twin City feeling the pressure. Zach White looking to evade a check. Gus Ford comes over, and there's a hit, and here we go. Linesman getting in there, looking to separate everyone. We don't have a clean fight going yet, but there's definitely a couple of players locked together. Gus Ford, he wants a piece of Patrick Marcinkiewicz. And those two players will take a seat in the penalty box. Go. And that does bring us to the media timeout, but we'll stay right here with you and break down what we just had there. So we are in a stoppage, but that was a hit with Ford involved, and then I don't think we had a clean fight really, but those two players were doing everything they could to get a piece of one another. And so that was wrapped up just below the near side boards here in the attacking area to our left from PD's perspective in this Flow second period. And so they're able to separate everyone. Really, those two players, the only ones involved. And as I mentioned in the broadcast last night, we really didn't see much of that type of behavior going on. Although it was a hard-fought game, lots of physicality and good hits, and we've seen that again tonight. But nothing over the top. And I think that's certainly okay. And we saw a little bit of that way across the ice with about a minute to play in last night's game along the red line. But not much after the whistles going on so far this weekend. So that will conclude the media timeout as they had to separate everyone. As I mentioned, just those two players, but I think everyone was pretty interested to see if that was going to boil over and involve anyone else. Fans erupted right here below the broadcast location in section 205. And we do have a 2-minute call on the board to Ford, and also in the box is Noah Hippolyte-Smith, and so that's going to indicate that we've got a 5-on-4. We can see on the ice it'll be 5-on-4, but with Hippolyte-Smith being over there, that's why there's the extra penalties being shown. The official comes over to speak in the scores table, and they're looking to get the correct time and number on the board. So we see 2 minutes by 10. Well, that's on the IceCats side. And so this break will extend a little bit longer. But this will be a power play for PD, it appears, and power play scored last night for the IceCats, and it's been good early on this season. This is their 4th game, and PD with 5 power play goals already, and this one, of course, not over, but 5 power play goals on 16 attempts, just over 31% on the year. And it was 2 for 3 on the penalty kill last night for Twin City. It's been a pretty clean game so far. And it's nearly been all 5-on-5. In fact, this is only the 2nd power play of the night for either team. Twin City had one back in the Pine Tree Tavern first period, and now for the first time tonight, the Thunderbirds will head to the Bobo's Deli and Grill penalty kill here in the Flow second period. Still working on the numbers on the board with 14:28 again left to go in this second period. Games from around the league just now getting underway. A busy night in the FPHL. And again, we'll keep you updated throughout the evening on scores from around the league. Games just getting underway with Binghamton and Danbury, Watertown and Port Huron. They've been playing for about 10 minutes or so. Columbus and Blue Ridge coming up at 7:30. Athens and Indiana also at 7:30. And then later on tonight, 8:05 Eastern, it's Biloxi at Topeka and Baton Rouge at Monroe. Well, still looking at the scoreboard, that's to our right. If you're watching on the video feed, you see the face-off circle that we're about to have the face-off in a pending Bobo's penalty kill. But right now in a bit of a holding pattern as we wait for the officials and the folks at the scores table to get everything all set and ready. And head coach Steve Harrison getting an explanation now. Across the ice. I think this is because of the penalty. There we go. Now we've got 10 showing on the Thunderbird side, which is the way it should be with Ford having the penalty. But we also still have the penalty showing on the IceCats side, which would indicate a 4-on-4. And it's a 5-on-4. And so now this sequence finally starts as PD works on the power play. They blast one wide of the net right off the bat with Houston Wilson. It's found, though, still onside across and near side play here. Marcinkiewicz, look out. Babic makes the save. He dropped it, and then he got the whistle on the cover-up attempt. So 17 seconds gone by on the penalty kill, 14-10 left to play in the second period. Twin City is down by a goal here on home ice at 2-1. As Chance Adrian into the circle on the power play. One back to Shernick. Konstantin Shernick goes across the ice. They'll dip it down low. They turn, they fire, and Boris Babic, difficult save to make. But he made it. Looked like he got it there with a shoulder, just keeping it out of the goal. Long drive, stick save made, and a collision right in the crease. Demke checked a man into Babic, who's laying down. He now stands up. And getting some help backing up there in the net was Chance Adrian. At least that's where the Thunderbirds thought about it. PD's back on side of the power play. It was briefly out through center ice, but they'll have 70 seconds now to work. They wait. No shot. Near side, this is Konstantin Shernick. Out of Russia, goes across the ice. On the pass, they get it once across, or once chopped down low as they had it. Here's the drive, and this one went wide of the net. They will hold the line. Now Twin City looking to find it. They nearly had the reach there with Jan Salak. Still onside for the IceCats on the power play, and off the side of the net. That one changed direction sharply in front of Boris Babic. We'll see if the Thunderbirds can survive this. The IceCats working on the power play. Long shot. It's a deflection, and it goes wide of the net. Still not out of the zone. The four skaters out there desperately looking for it. There's a tie-up. They find it. Butita gets the clear to the neutral zone. It's just over the blue line, though. And now rising is Noah Hippolyte-Smith, serving the penalty to Ford. Back behind the goal line. There'll be a battle with 12 seconds left to go on the penalty kill. In front of the net, picked off, and down he goes. Great effort from the penalty killers. It's a successful Bobo's Deli and Grill penalty kill. 12:27 to play in the second period, and the Thunderbirds down by a goal at 2-1. Open play to Farmer. James Farmer, he'll get it deep in the near side corner. Zach White, and they play it along. Now it's Keeley. Nate Keeley will find it. Just out of the reach of Miguel Diaz. Back behind the net, played again by Zach White. Bouncing around, they battle for it. 8 minutes gone by in the period, and eventually found by the PD IceCats. Shots on goal favoring the visitors, 14-11 now. Chance onside from the far side circle. They'll drop it a long shot, and that one goes wide of the net from Timur Razilov. So this one deflects out of play, brings us to a halt. Right now, a low-scoring game compared to what we had last night. 10 goals between the two teams. We got 3 so far this evening. It was 2-1 after 1. And we play on here in the middle period, but that's still where we're at. Through the neutral zone. Twin City now wants it. There's a check applied by Zimmerman. And around the boards it goes. Still onside. No, now it's out to center. Just along the logo. Up the right wing, Michael Mania looking to dance around the defender. Gets taken down by his 25 counterpart in the game, and Jordan Popov. Alberta native. Inside the line, long shot. That one goes trickling away just behind the goal. Drops down. And the IceCats look to play it from there. Roman Kramer jumps in aggressively. They get it to him from Zach White. Here's Kramer with a chance. Centers in front. Off the backhand. A great save made by Ricardo Gonzalez. Got it with a pad. Twin City looks to tie the game. Jan Salak had a huge goal on this end of the ice last night in the second period to make it 4-3. And a big answer shortly after that from PD to jump in front again by 2 in that game. Let's see what Twin City can do now. Half a minute away from the halfway point in regulation time. 10:30 to play in the second period. Held onside by PD. They'll battle for it. This is high up and out of play. So it's a 1-goal lead for the visitors. Twin City Thunderbirds hockey. Thanks as always for tuning in. Second game of the season for Twin City. 4th game of the year for PD. And the Thunderbirds back on home ice next weekend on Friday. So 7:35 the time of the puck drop. And we hope that you'll be able to join us for the matchup. As the Bobcats from Blue Ridge, they'll be in town. That's again at 7:35 on Friday from the faceoff. PD looking for it here. They'll hold it top of the near side circle. 7:05 against Athens the following night. It's on the road though. Twin City will play their first road game of the season 1 week from tonight. Down in Athens. Good play from center. Noah Hippolyte-Smith along to his left. Flipped in by Ryan Glazer. Hippolyte-Smith looking for it. Here's Butita back behind the net. They turn, they fire one, and this one goes through the crease and ends up on the other side. Sent down the ice. Puck is on edge, and they waved off the icing, so Boris Babic went to go play it. That was his cue that it was all right to do that. Here's Kramer finding it onside. Roman Kramer flipping it back behind him and looking for help from Nate Keeley. Down to the neutral zone. PD brings it onside. Houston Wilson off a deflection, up and out of play off the protective netting to our left. So it's still a 2-1 game, 9:21 to play in the second period. Media timeouts. We'll be right back with more Twin City Thunderbirds hockey.
Flow Offer to Purchase makes it easy for you to generate an appraisal for a vehicle online in under 5 minutes. You can confidently use Flow Offer to Purchase to determine your vehicle's trade-in value or to get a real offer to sell it to us. Here at Flow, we've always had a transparent, interactive appraisal process that our customers love. We developed our Flow Offer to Purchase tool to offer you that same great experience online or through our Flow Garage app anytime, anywhere. Using Flow Offer to Purchase is simple. Either enter your license plate number or VIN, and the system will pull up basic information about your vehicle. Some vehicles have options or extras that need to be selected in order to pull an accurate value. Then just tell us about the current condition of a few things like your tires, dents and scratches, or mechanical issues. From there, a real offer on your vehicle, whether you buy from us or not, is just a click away. Just a heads up, our staff will check over your vehicle to ensure your Flow Offer to Purchase is accurate. Your satisfaction is our priority. Flow Automotive dealerships have processed tens of thousands of vehicles using Flow Offer to Purchase, which has resulted in buying many thousands of cars from customers. Try Flow Offer to Purchase for free today. You can access this tool by clicking Sell Trade on flowauto.com or your dealer site by starting the Sell Trade dialog in the center of the homepage.
And welcome back inside the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena as we roll on here in the middle period, the Flow second period. And a defensive end face-off for Twin City coming up. We got 9:21 officially left to go in the middle period. Shots on goal favoring the visitors 14-13. Twin City outshot PD last night. Inside the line from the faceoff, batted down by Keeley, thrown in front of the goal here dangerously, and Zach White will get to it. Wants some speed up to Keeley, gets it, good play, across they go, they fire one, oh, what a missile, but it goes way out of play from Roman Kramer in front of the goal. That would have tied it up at 2, 9:04 left to go now in the second period, a great chance down the ice. And that was one of the best looking chances we've seen this evening from Twin City. I mentioned they were looking for a speed play up the wing, and Keeley barely was able to get it and hold on to it there in stride. They flipped it back, and a perfect play really to wait out the defender tracking back on the play to get it around him there at the last minute. But that one is up and out. And the officials converging along the scores table. And we got a discussion here in front of the table with the two captains out there. Ford is still in the box with his penalty. He had the minor penalty that was being served, and then that ended. But he's still there. It was a fighting major, by the way. They did give the 5 for fighting to both Ford and Patrick's Marcinkiewicz. And so I thought maybe they were going to go with the roughing side of things, but they ended up with a fighting decision. Then we had the extra penalty, which was roughing at 5:32 of the Flow second period. We're playing 5-on-5, but Ford's still in there, and Marcinkiewicz is not. So Thunderbirds want to get him out there as quickly as possible here. And that may have been what that discussion was about, was just the timing of when that penalty happened and if he could be released or not. Down the ice in from center, and this is going to be called back icing against the IceCats. Well, with 7 points in the standings early on, PD atop the Continental Division standings. Topeka leading in the Empire with 9 points already. Well, it's a sharp drop-off on the Continental side with PD, and then here's a quick shot off the faceoff, by the way, gloved up by Ricardo Gonzalez. Now we're going to have a fight. We're going to have several players coming together. Kramer's down on the ice and trying to protect himself. He's getting whacked from behind. And that moment almost really set off it. A couple of problems there, but Roman Kramer was really getting hammered while he was down there on the ice there. It was Bowie Slarks who was after him. Now Zach White having some words. His number 20 counterpart, Slarks, looks right back at him. I thought that was going to end up being a lot worse than it was. It was just sort of a quick pile-up there, and some punches were thrown, and then it looked like everyone was pulled away quickly enough. And the captain's back out to the red line. And let's see what they come up with here. 8:44 to play in the second period. Still a 1-goal deficit for Twin City. And we'll play on. Face-off will be in the attacking area. And no, they're going to bring it out. Yeah, the referee points out to the neutral zone, so they will bring it back out to center now. Face-off victory. Back it goes across the center ice red line. Lifted onside by the big defender out of Russia, Sergei Sherbakov. Zimmerman with a long shot. It was blocked, though, and chopped at. Back behind the net. This could cause more problems, and let's see if everyone will separate here. So we've got a lot of stopping and starting and starting and stopping right now. 8.5 to play in the Flow second period. 1-goal lead for PD. It's been that way since the last minute of the Pine Tree Tavern first period. Offensive end face-off, one here by Twin City. Back to Carter, fires, rebound given up there by Gonzalez. He watched it go to the far side corner. They battle along. It's chipped ahead, long shot again. This one will finish again in that same corner. Found by Salak, dropping it off the backhand as he wants Michael Mania to find it. Down behind the line, spinning away there, Yuri Pistuka. They center it, they score! 8:04 to play in the second period, as he did last night. Jan Salak scoring during the middle frame. And they played it right out in front of him. Yuri Pashtuka gets it to him. And that's a big one. We got a tie game. Crowd a little bit more lively now. And we've got 8 minutes to play in the Flow second period. Keeley, he'll try to find it. Plays it ahead just over the red line as they announce the goal for the Thunderbirds. IceCats will find it here on side. They play to the near side circle. They drop it back. And a heater of a shot. It's blocked by Babic. Another try in front of the goal. This one they'll find to the side of the net. Thrown in front. Boris Babic will cover it up. Yuri Pashtuka gets the assist on the scoring play from Jan Salak. 7:32 to play in the second period. Tied game at 2. And for the first time in a while, Thunderbirds now out shooting the IceCats. Margin is 1 at 18-17. Defensive zone face-off for the captain, Butita. And he'll win it along into the corner. Found by Don Carter Jr. Pushed all the way around the rink. And they look to play it off the dasher. Found by PD. Getting back there and stealing it away is Butita. All the way around now to the near side. Noah Hippolyte-Smith looks to track it down. Now Don Carter Jr. He'll locate it behind the goal of Boris Babic. He waited, and that allowed the IceCats to get to him and apply some pressure with Bowie Slarks. Through center with speed. Noah Hippolyte-Smith up the left wing. They look to get it back to him, and it goes bouncing just away there the last second. In the near side corner. Penalty called, though, against PD. Looks like the Thunderbirds will go to the power play unless anything else happens. And now we got a scrum in the near side corner. And this game really coming to life now. Well, the bench medic for the Thunderbirds heads out there to take a look at an IceCat player who's down on the ice. So Noah Hippolyte-Smith has been called. He takes a seat in the box. Now across from him is Chance Adrian. And looks like Damian Poole, Cap, the bench medic, has done his work, and everyone's all right. So we got a tie game at 2, 6:48 left to play in the second period. As I mentioned, it looked to me maybe a second or two before that scrum began that the Thunderbirds were going to go to the power play, as there was an infraction on Hippolyte-Smith. As he was held up and drew the penalty, and I think he turned around and may have collected one himself. But it's rowdy in here. And the folks down at the scores table, they're getting their money's worth tonight, probably more than they really wanted. So they are in a discussion, the two referees. As I mentioned earlier in tonight's broadcast, the officials for tonight's game. But it's referee Ron Johnson and Scott Singer. Singer has his back turned, number 56. Johnson's up against the table. He's number 24. And John Butita goes across the ice to talk to Coach Harry, and he's pointing each direction. We just saw the hand wave on each side of the potty there, and so I think this is going to cancel out, and the power play might go away for the Thunderbirds that they were due. We'll just see how it's all written down. 6:48 to play in the second period. Tie game at 2. As this will once again bring us to a slow point, and I think they just pointed maybe 5-on-5 each way. Thunderbirds have 5 players out there. There's nothing up on the board for now. But now they will throw up the number of 25 and 2 minutes, so at least a penalty to Jordan Pawpaw. So Twin City out there with Farmer, Demke, Salak, Peshtuka, and Mania. PD for now with only 4 players out. Now they throw the 5th one over the boards. And so one going towards the box, at least to the table here. I think we will play 5-on-5. They only have the 1 penalty showing. And now they take the penalty down. All right, finally ready to go again. And from the face-off, they look to chase it down across the rink. It's grabbed and played, though, by Houston Wilson, Philadelphia native. Wears number 17 for the IceCats. Here he comes in from center, crosses onside, long shot, easily dealt with, and blockered away by Boris Babic. Played by Mania Peshtuka. He'll find it. Tried to move it off the backhand. They pressure him, though. 6:22 to play in the Flow second period. We are tied at 2. Second game of the season for Twin City. Long shot here on Babic. He's got it. That was on Konstantin Chernik. Officially there at 13-12 of the second period. They do go with the Fighting Majors each way. And now a player comes across the ice, and you know, when I thought back to that play, initially it looked like a penalty had been signaled. And so to me, there would have been at least that first penalty, and then when everything else happened after it, that should have added one. But there's nothing on the board. And we play on here. And this is played out towards the neutral zone. Ford will go back and play it way back behind him, Don Carter. Ford searching for it. It would have been a 3-on-3 if he could have found that one in stride. Now they do have it, and this could be a 3-on-2, even better. Here we go with Zach White. It bounced on him, though, and he had to attempt to find it. Couldn't do it. Goes back into PD's defensive territory with 5:42 to play in the middle frame. Just along the red line. It's batted back down. Played by White. Good pass to find Ford. Here's Gus Ford. Makes a move. Cuts in front of the net. Goes back behind instead. Then he centered it. No one home. High in the zone to Zimmerman. He turns, wraps, and fires into the near side corner. Back behind the net. Now across the ice it goes. Batted down inside the blue line. Near side for White. White finds it. A center one and the one-timer. It goes in. 3-2. Gus Ford has another one here on the weekend. That one hit Ricardo Gonzalez. He got a lot of it, not enough of it. It leaks by 3-2. Twin City has taken the lead with 5:13 to play in the Flow second period. Face off in the neutral zone following that scoring play that has given the good guys the lead. Let's see what they do with this. 1-goal advantage last night to end the first period. They fell behind in the second, and tonight they'll try to end the second period with a 1-goal lead. They announce the goal to Gus Ford. Ford playing in his 201st career FPHL game last night. This is game 202 this evening. And he entered the weekend with 162 goals in his career. We are in the media timeout here. They've signaled for that. Now another player comes across the ice for PD, takes a seat in the box. It's a cross check. And I think we'll have a power play now after this. It's 3-on-1 in terms of the players in the box. The only player in the penalty box for Twin City is Noah Hippolyte-Smith. And 3 in there for the IceCats. So we are in this media break, but we'll stay right here with you. This has been another entertaining game between two good teams. And these teams, again, 13 games between them this season. And if this weekend so far is any indication, this is going to be a really good series. So here's what it looks like on the score sheet tonight. Even strength goal in the first period for PD and Patrick Marcinkiewicz. Then an answer from Zach White at 9:19 to make it 1-1. IceCats take the lead, though, with Trevor Lord scoring in the final minute of the first period. And the only 2 scoring plays here in the second have been both by the Thunderbirds. Jan Salak at 11:56, Gus Ford at 14:47. 5 goals have been scored so far in the game, all at even strength. And Twin City's got a 1-goal lead. And a power play on the way. 5-on-4, 2 minutes to Skate Scaldi, who's playing in his first game here with PD. Did not play last night, wasn't on the roster. Here we go, power play underway, and we'll see if the Thunderbirds can go up by 2. They'll try to hold the line here, and they will with Don Carter. Long shot through traffic, blocked in front. They're looking for the rebound, but it's swept away higher in the zone. Peshtuka leaves it for Butita. Butita looks to play, and he'll get it to Peshtuka, and then they could not hold the blue line. So he had pressure to him, John Butita, on the far side of the building. And eventually, everyone looking to regroup on the play. 30 seconds gone by on it. They stretched it out. Thunderbirds did, looking for a 3-on-2 to cross over the blue line. And they'll have to battle for it to the far side corner. They stick handle it. Butita finds a wide open Peshtuka. Steps up, rips one. It's blocked. Rebound. They fire. Save made. It's free again off the backhand. They drive it wide of the goal. 4 minutes to play in the second period. The Thunderbirds work on the power play, and it's found by PD. They'll leave the zone with it, and they'll move it through the neutral zone. Onside here, shorthanded. Twin City gets it back again. Could be another odd man rush. Don Carter Jr. stick handling over the blue line. Looks for options. Top of the near side circle. They go down low to Salak. Salak holding on to it, and he circles around in the corner. They get it to Keeley. 45 seconds left to go on the power play. They rip it across Butita. In front, they have the tip play. Kramer. Oh, and he just missed. And that one goes way across the zone. Twin City working on the power play. They lead by 1, but they want another one. They drive it. Rebound. It's there. Where is it? They cover it up. And then a scrum to the far side post after Ricardo Gonzalez leapt onto that one. Tons of action with 3:22 to play in the Flow's second period. There's 30 seconds left on the minor penalty to Skate Scaldi. And the one Twin City player and Noah Hippolyte-Smith will leave, and the 2 PD IceCats players, they will now leave the box. We had the 5-minute majors. But it's this roughing minor. Looked like they signaled a cross-check at the time, but a roughing minor from Skate Scaldi has given the Thunderbirds a power play. And now we've got changes each way on the ice. Scaldi's standing in the box. He wants to get right back out and rejoin his team, but he'll have to wait half a minute to do it. And the door is open on the Thunderbirds side of the penalty box area. Out-of-town scoreboard report. Athens has gone up 2-1 on the road against Indiana. 3-0 the lead on the road. Columbus over Blue Ridge. A tie game 1-1 between Watertown and Port Huron. No score between Binghamton and Danbury. And you hear the applause as that's 25. Jordan Popoff seated now in the box. One goal game at 3-2. Shots 23-18 in favor of Twin City. And the faceoff comes outside of the zone, but it's still the 5-on-4 power play. And down it goes. And we're back playing once more. So it's played ahead by Gus Ford. He rips it across to Roman Kramer. Kramer loads up and he drives it onside. 19 seconds left to go in the power play. And there was a hit on Ryan Glazier as he got run into by Konstantin Chernik, 6'5", 214. And Glazier just 5'10", 181. So he knocked him down to the ice. 7 seconds left to go down the power play. Twin City reloading from the defensive end. Zach White crosses over, picked off though. Could be a rush down the ice the wrong way. It's Eli Rivers. He scored last night. Drops it back along to Houston Wilson. Turns and fires wide of the goal. 2:44 to play in the second period. Given up. Zach White looking for it here. And he'll find it in the corner. Got up on edge and rolled away from PD's control. White had in the corner. And then the IceCats get back and they're able to move it out to center ice. Onside again. This is Scaldi lifting it in. And a pad save made by Boris Babik. He covers it up. And the hometown fans here in Winston-Salem like that effort. Well, we'll see if the Thunderbirds can show some growth here late in this second period compared back to the first period where they gave up a goal in the final minute. And that certainly helped the efforts of the IceCats. In fact, they took the lead 2-1 with that scoring play. And we'll see if the Thunderbirds can get out of this period up by 1, maybe up by 2 if they can find a late one themselves, but need to avoid a late attack from PD certainly. Twin City's played well tonight. Here's Salak out towards center ice. 2-on-2 they go with it. And then the rest of the zone fills up as Keeley skates after it. Jordan Popoff plays it away from him though. And PD with room now to work. They'll chip it down the ice. Maybe too much room there. And they had the icing call on the way and they waved it off at the very last second. So we continue. Here in the Flow second period. Under 2 to play. Glazier looking for it onside. Driven back the other way by the IceCats. Found by Twin City and Adam Zimmerman. Zimmerman lifting it to the opposite blue line from his own defensive end. Now it's the far side corner from the broadcast location here high atop section 205. Don Carter Jr. He'll find it in the defensive end. Back and forth we go. Late in the period. Under 90 seconds left in it. Here comes PD. Shut down to the line. Back for the IceCats. Look out, a chance down low. They flip it across, looking to hold on to it. And that was moved from midair. They look to transfer it down to the ground. Look out, right out in front. They force it wide. You can see that one developing and just squeezed wide of the net. Still onside from the IceCats. That was from Dominic Marcinkiewicz, who's had a really good weekend. All over the score sheet. Zach White finds it high in the zone. Try to drag it out to center. It will go over the blue line. And back and forth we play on. Looked like PD was trapped offside, looking to tag up. 51 seconds to play in the second period. 3-2 the lead for Twin City down the ice, and icing called against the Thunderbirds now. So that'll go back down. 2 hours left and a few more seconds remaining in this Flow second period. Coming up at the second intermission break on the video side of things, we'll have a listen to the Coach Harry show from earlier this week. Zach White, myself, and head coach Steve Harrison were live at Little Italy at 7 o'clock back on Tuesday. In the first intermission break, we heard the first portion of that interview. We'll go to the second part of that interview, and we hope our fans will enjoy that in the break. Some time left here. From the face-off, it's in the corner, then played at the side of the circle, ripped across the rink by Gus Ford, looking for Roman Kramer. Had it lost in his skates, and then he'll look to play it. PD finds it first. half a minute left to go in the Flow second period. Opening Saturday night game of the season for Twin City. They opened the overall year last night with a 6-4 loss here on home ice. PD has it, 18 seconds left in the period. Long shot, Boris Babic saw it, he gloved it, wanted to squeeze it and hold on to it, I think, but he was able to at least block it down to the ice. And now a rush in from center, it's Ford looking for White, finds him, fires, and a glove save on the other side by Gonzalez. And that keeps it 3-2 with 5.7 left to play in the middle period. 24-19 shots on goal in this one, and that was a grade A chance for Zach White, just feet away. And that one might have just lifted the roof off this place. Would have made it 4-2. But the Thunderbirds would have had a 2-goal lead and would have been rolling into the third period. They still have a chance here, though. Face off. Salak looking for it. Found by PD. 2 seconds left. Long shot. Babic makes the save. It would have counted, but he's not going to let one in from the red line. And the fans will send the Thunderbirds to the dressing room with a much-deserved ovation. They lead it by 1. 1-goal advantage last night from the first period. They couldn't hold on to it in the second period. Tonight, PD suffers the same fate. They led it by 1, and they let the lead slip away here in the Flow second period. So it was 2-1 for much of the period. 11:56, though, as we crossed over the halfway point in the middle frame. 11:56, the time of the goal for Jan Salak to make it a 2-2 tie. And right now, the biggest goal in the matchup, Gus Ford at 14:47 from Roman Kramer and Zach White. Again, coming up in the break, we will have part 2 of the interview from the Coach Harry Show back on Tuesday. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. 3-2 the lead for the Thunderbirds heading into the final frame of regulation time tonight. This is Twin City Thunderbirds hockey.
Introducing Flow Rewards, the exclusive rewards program for Flow Automotive customers. With Flow Rewards, every vehicle purchase and service visit earns you points towards future maintenance on your vehicle. To start earning and redeeming Flow Rewards points, download Flow Garage, make an account, and add your vehicle. If your account is already set up with your vehicle, you'll start earning rewards points automatically. Add family members to your household to earn Flow Rewards points together. Don't miss out. Download the Flow Garage app to start earning Flow Rewards points with your next service visit or vehicle purchase.
Looking to exceed your real estate expectations? Meet Jennifer Sapp, passionate about real estate. Jennifer works with all clients because regardless of property value, every transaction is important to you, and that matters to her. She's been a proud sponsor of the Carolina Thunderbirds, supporting the community she loves. A consistent top producer, she's been helping people buy and renovate homes into their dream spaces. Call 336-782-3148 or visit jennifersapp.allentate.com.
Get into the swing of things at Tee It Up Indoors. Offering 3 simulators, over 11,000 virtual courses, lessons, club fittings, and a variety of snacks and beverages, Tee It Up Indoors is the place to go and work on your game. Call us at 336-285-7823 or visit our website at teeitupindoors.net.
Finish strong. Start here. Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist.
When it comes to performance, speed matters, just like on the ice. Introducing same-day dental crowns right here at Twin Oaks Dentistry. With cutting-edge technology, we craft crowns on-site, eliminating the need for temporary. As proud sponsors of the Carolina Thunderbirds, we understand the need for top-notch performance. We're more than just dental care. We're your partners in achieving your best smile.
Maple Chase Golf and Country Club offers the best in recreational amenities in the Triad.
Come enjoy a meal at the Pine Brook Bar and Grill, relax by our pool and cabana, and gear up at the Pro Shop while sharpening your skills on our 9,000 square foot putting green and play around on our 18-hole Ellis Maples Design Championship Golf Course. You can find out more at maplechasecc.com. That's maplechasecc.com.
Coach, we've been talking about training camp here in the last couple of shows, and I know that that's certainly the hot topic, but I think a lot of fans were able to come out and watch us practice last week, which was great with the fair being in town. The opening weekend of the season for us, there were some games in the league last weekend, and we talked about that going into last weekend, Coach. But PD, the opponent this weekend, did play last weekend, and you said you were going to get an opportunity to take a look at them, and maybe we can start with them and give a preview of what you saw.
Well, I got to watch some of the games on Friday. I watched a little bit of that game there. They played Columbus, and it's what I kind of expected. Both teams are played very well. Actually, I don't think anybody scored until the third period. They're late in the second period, so. The typical first game. I thought it was good to watch the way they played, the way things they do there, and they're both experienced teams, and that's the one thing that's going to be in this league this year. A lot of experience, a lot of teams coming in here that guys have actually played at different levels and with a lot of experience. So I think from a fan standpoint, I think they're going to really enjoy this year of the level of competition. And as I said, from what I saw on Friday and then Saturday, things kind of opened up. I think things started to relax a little bit. And as I said, it's going to be one of those leagues this year where I think if you know how to play away from the puck, I think you're going to be in pretty good position, because I think everyone's going to be wanting to run and gun and play that type of style. And the one thing that, we scored a lot of goals last year, but the thing that made us a very good hockey team is how we played away from the puck. And I'm going to have to rely on, especially the guys up front. We're a little inexperienced on the back as we start. And it's not that I don't like them. It's just a matter of they're not as experienced as I think as we've had in the past. So it's going to be the guys up front who are going to have to show them the way on how to play away from the puck.
That's got to be scary for you, huh?
Watching you do that? Yeah. But no, I think that if we know how to play and we do a good job of doing that this year, I think we're going to have a successful year. And as I said, I really like what we got going here right now. As I said, it's not your typical team that I've had here for 2 years. It's going to be a little different, but nothing's going to change on the hard work, the way we're playing and the way we want to play as a group. And as I said, it's just there's going to be different unfamiliar faces to the crowd, but I think they're going to enjoy them. As I said, the energy they bring is great, and we're just going to have to work as a team. And so I'm really looking forward to this year on as I said, coaching a little different with the players, and because as I said, with the different players that we have, so it should be a fun year.
Are we going to start calling you Herb Brooks now? Or?
Herbie?
Are you going to make us do more suicides out there?
No. I don't want to blow the whistle that much.
You just want to put your yelling outfit on?
Yeah, my yelling outfit. I had that on today for a minute, so I had to get the tempo going a little bit today. So
someone's got to do it, right?
Someone's got to do it.
It's not going to be me.
But no, I as I said, and then I watched Danbury played Port Huron, and just another typical Danbury Port Huron game, and so nothing really surprised me this year. As I said, I just like the level. I like the way the teams played and the level, and so it should be a fun and interesting year. And what you want from the games, you want them tight. You don't want everyone likes to win those 10-0 games, and once in a while, from my standpoint, it's kind of nice. From their standpoint, they all get their cookies. But as I said, I think for the most part, most people like those games that you win 4-2, and it's a great game, and you do score that goal, and you get your cookie, but that cookie really means something, and so I think. That's what more people enjoy, and I think the fans really enjoy it. As I said, I think the fans last year, we talked about the one game we lost 1-0, how good a game it was, and so those are things that I see from this year. And Petey's going to come in this weekend with a very experienced team, very veteran like, and they've had 2 games under their belt, so they're going to be a little more familiar with what they're doing. But we're going to be at home. We're going to have our home crowd behind us, which is going to help. And as I said, it'll be a battle, and right from the start. But the way I look at it and the way practice has gone so far, I can't see the way we're not going to be ready for Friday.
And let's go back to the practice. I know that fans always want to know about the numbers. There's a couple of players that have been cut already. You've got some final hard decisions to make coming up here the next couple of days. So where do things stand going into Friday night roster-wise, and what you're dealing with?
20's definitely out.
20's I'm just going to let that go, okay?
Yeah.
I had a line for it, but I'm just going to let it go.
Okay.
But no, we released 2 guys here today, and so we're down. I think the forward lines right now for Friday is kind of set. We still got some decisions to be made on the back end, and that's what coaches want. Coaches, and I tell the players when they come in here, you want me to not sleep at nights, and if you do that, then that tells me that they want to be here and that it's hard to cut you, or it's hard to release you, or maybe have to trade you or do something like that. So when you do that, and at the end of the day, if that's what you've done and you've made the coach not sleep very well the night before, you've done your job. And it doesn't always work out, but you can go home and or do whatever you're going to do, and you should feel good about yourself because you laid it out on the line. You made it hard on them, and sometimes there's hard decisions. And being in the seat that I'm in, sometimes it's not always the fun part of the game, having to tell players certain things, or releasing people, and you see the disappointment. And Whitey and I talked today about the one thing that I hope I never forget is sitting on the other side of the chair and how those people feel at the time. And as I said, as long as I coach, I try to remember that one day I was sitting in that seat. So I want to be respectful, and I want to make sure and try to help them out. But there's going to be some hard decisions, and so far I give the players a lot of credit. They've made it hard on me, and I rely on the older guys too to give me some input, because it's their team too. And as I said, talking to them, they think they've worked hard too. So it's going to be a tough decision, and I got to make that in the next couple of days.
Is that why we're skating more? Because you can't sleep?
I can't sleep.
You don't know what drills to do?
I haven't slept much lately, but we're okay though.
That's good to hear. Whitey, I was going to go there next, actually. So, you're part of a group that's coming back from last season. Obviously, some great memories and success last year as well. How was it just to be back? I think I asked Coach this, back in show number 1 that we did a few weeks ago. But for you, what's it like to be back and be practicing with your teammates again? A lot of new faces, but of course, a lot of guys that you know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously came back for a reason. I like a lot of the guys, the coaches, okay, but no, I'm kidding. Good coach. Main reason why I'm back is because I like how he coaches, and he has a lot of good systems, and he kind of lets us play freely, so that's a big thing. And the new guys coming in, everyone's very nice, respectful, and I think that makes it easier to kind of gel with everyone, whereas there's no egos as much as some other places that I've played. So I think in relation to that, it just makes a good culture, and we can build off that. And, things don't start off great. Guys are willing to learn and grow and develop. So that's part of a positive culture environment for us.
But how much of the French do you remember? Can you speak? Can you chirp in French? How did that go when you were over there?
Petit peu français, so not too much. But, there's some things that you do remember, and some things that you probably shouldn't say. But there is a couple of things, and I have a French family that I talk to still, and I'd love to go out and see them when I'm done playing, and they want me to come back out there. So it'd be nice to touch up on my Duolingo, but we'll see how much I can retain from back then. Not too much right now, but I do enjoy the language. I think it's very beautiful.
That's one of those things that I learned this because even when I was in Finland, you learn some of the language, and usually it's always, hello and those kind of things. And then once you start talking, you have to translate it back into English and then try to say it back in French. And when you start doing that, then that's when you get in trouble. So
I'm about 6 years later.
Yeah, you're about 6. So that's when as soon as you start, you're sitting there, they'll say something to you, and then you're like, and you're in your head and you're like this, and then they know right away, like, they've stumped you after, bonjour and ça va.
The light bulb definitely broke.
The light bulb burns very quickly.
Coach, I know this is something that's a big topic with the fans, and something from around the league last weekend that we were following. But any insight on the suspensions that happened? You mentioned the Danbury and Port Huron series. Anything you'd like to say about that and what you saw?
I think we had a meeting with all the coaches and the referees a couple weeks ago when I first got here, and the new NHL, when I say new NHL rules, they've just basically adapted all the NHL rules, and we got away from some of the ones we have.
Flo Cadillac is a proud sponsor of the Carolina Thunderbirds. Visit 1400 South Stratford Road for a free test drive, or go online to flowcadillac.com to schedule a sales or service appointment.
Maple Chase Golf and Country Club offers the best in recreational amenities in the Triad. Come enjoy a meal at the Pinebrook Bar and Grill, relax by our pool and cabana, and gear up at the Pro Shop while sharpening your skills on our 9,000 square foot putting green, and play around on our 18-hole Ellis Maples designed championship golf course. You can find out more at maplechasecc.com. That's maplechasecc.com.
Finish strong. Start here. Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist.
Looking for more than a job? At Flow Automotive, we're building careers and futures. Whether you're starting in service, sales, or support, you're joining a team built on trust and driven by purpose. We invest in your growth with hands-on training, mentorship, and clear paths to advance. Every role matters, and every day you help deliver the Flow experience. Looking for something outside of the showroom? Our management services team is where creative, operational, and support professionals thrive. We provide care for the whole person with employee pricing, wellness programs, scholarship programs for children of employees, and comprehensive benefits that grow with you. Flow Automotive is guided by ethics, powered by people, and committed to your future. Start your journey with Flow Automotive. Your path starts here. Let's grow together.
Every car gets warning lights, but did you know the color actually means something too? Red indicates an issue that requires immediate attention. Orange indicates a less urgent issue, like a vehicle service requirement. Blue and green give you information on lights and indicators. The more you know with Flow.
And welcome back inside the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. Kendall Grayson with you for our second intermission break. And Gus Ford has given the Twin City Thunderbirds a 1-goal advantage. The goal was scored at 14:47 of the Flow second period. We've got the Culver's third period for you on the way. But a giant scoring play there. A couple of them actually in the second period. We think back as the Thunderbirds were down by 1 after 1. And the score remained that way for a while there in the second period. It took more than 10 minutes to get a goal on the board in the second. But it was Jan Salak at 11:56. Even strength goal assisted by Yuri Pastuka. Pastuka really made a great play. Michael Mania gets the secondary assist on the goal. But Pastuka was sort of turning around and sort of wrapping out in front. And it was one of those that he was just looking to get it to anyone that was in front of the goal. I think he certainly knew that Salak would be in the range, but I don't think he expected him to get on that as quickly as he did, as cleanly as he did. That just sort of worked out there, just spinning it, off the side of the net, trying to cut back in front. And that made it 2-2, brought it to a 2-2 tie. And then at 14:47, Roman Kramer, kind of in the same spot where just looking to get it in front of the goal and make something good happen. And they were able to move it to Gus Ford. And Ford's shot, I mentioned at the time just after the goal was scored, but Ford's shot, the netminder, Ricardo Gonzalez, actually got a lot of it. And the puck stopped sort of dead in its tracks, and I thought that was going to be it. I could tell he didn't have it, but I thought maybe it was going to finish underneath him. And then you see so many times the goaltender will either fall back and try to cover it, or all of a sudden he locates it and has to back up to it and covers it up. And so that was initially kind of what I saw there as the puck was thrown towards him. But you could tell that it had a little bit more on it. And so that one just trickled over the line. And that's all you need. You just need it to cross and, of course, see the white paint on both sides. And that one made it over the line. It's a 3-2 game. And that's where it stands right now. The shots on goal in the middle frame, 14-12 in favor of the Thunderbirds, who return to the ice now. And so here in the Culver's third period, it'll be the Thunderbirds moving right to left as they did back in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. And PD will skate down the ice left to right. All right, well, this one has been similar to last night's game, but I think it's been a little more spirited even than what we had last night. Last night was certainly not a sleeper in terms of the physicality and the action that we saw across the board. This one's had a little more spice to it, I'd say, and always have to watch out for that as the game progresses. But through the first 40 minutes in this bounce-back effort from the Thunderbirds, I think head coach Steve Harrison will have to be pretty pleased with how it's looked. Job is a long way from over, though. There's more work to do, a lot of it. And this team needs to put together a good 20 minutes. And if they do that, that's going to give them a good chance here. But PD's not going to go down without a fight. There'll be a push right back here in this third period. Face off in the final frame of regulation. The Culver's third period is underway. Twin City on home ice tonight. First time they played on a Saturday night this season. Opening weekend for them. PD played last week. But the Thunderbirds here working with a 1-goal lead on home ice on this Saturday night at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena. Big hit along the near side board. Sergei Sherbakov got involved there. Throwing his weight around. Defender out of Russia, 6'4", 185. IceCats have found it. They look to advance from the defensive territory, and they do. Timur Razilov carried it, gave a pass across. Now look out, they're onside. And they couldn't get the pass to move to Houston Wilson. Eventually found it, though. They turn in front of the net, and they squeeze this one wide of the goal. That was a chance in front. And now the Thunderbirds will ice the puck here with 19-13. It finishes at 19-12 left to go in our third period. It's the Culver's third period. Hungry Thunderbirds fans, nothing beats a Culver's Butterburger. Fresh, never frozen beef, seared to perfection and served on a lightly buttered, toasted bun. Stop by Culver's at 2973 Fairlawn Drive in Winston-Salem today. Culver's, welcome to delicious. From the face-off, far side corner, Don Carter Jr. searching for it. Linesman goes down. Look out, 2-on-1 below the circles. They blast it just wide of the goal. And still onside here from PD. Even strength hockey at 5-on-5 early on in the third. Back behind the net of Boris Babbitt. They battle on, and a penalty called to Sergei Sherbakov as he chopped the stick out of the hands of Chance Adrian. And that's not the start that Twin City wanted in this third period, to be trapped into the defensive zone for a bit. And then get whistled for a stick infraction. And so once again, it'll be the Bobo's Deli and Grill penalty kill for the Thunderbirds. And they move the face-off to the opposite circle. I thought maybe a timeout had been called, and I figured that was a little bit early in the game to do that, but they just go to the opposite circle. And they'll have to adjust the clock. They've got a 10-minute penalty to Sherbakov counting his 10 minutes. Tracking back at 9:59 now, so they'll have to get that cleaned up. And so Boris Babic takes his time to stretch his legs and skate away from the crease. Sherbakov played last season for the New Jersey 87s of the EHL. 42 games, 6 goals, 26 assists. He had 41 penalty minutes. And he's seated in the box now. Also played 11 games in the postseason last year for the 87s. There's the applause from the fans. And that means we've got 2 minutes on the board. So 5-on-4 power play for the IceCats as they look to tie this game early on here in the Culver's third period. As the puck is down and it's back behind the goal line. And so Twin City finds it here and they'll be able to swipe it out to center. May do more than that as Gus Ford has it. Here's Ford breaking in shorthanded. He powers it wide of the goal. Stays onside though. Good job from Dion Demke to find it. Here's Ford. It's a 1-on-4 and then he'll turn and go way down the ice. Smart play there. Zach White turns, flips it the other way. Good job there by the penalty killers. Gus Ford flying around. He scored a really nice goal late in the game last night. It was too little, too late, as I mentioned at the time, but good to see the confidence building for him early on this season. 18:08 left to go in period number 3. Kendall Grayson with you here on the broadcast tonight as the Thunderbirds are leading by a goal and looking to kill off this one-man disadvantage on the ice. They'll zip it down, and it's blocked by the netminder Ricardo Gonzalez, wearing number 30 for the IceCats. Here goes PD, now advancing left to right. They'll pause, actually, and they go back down behind the goal line. Had 3 players short of the goal line there that time on the power play. And the defensive end. Now they look to move it out, but nearly stolen away. Now Butita does have it, and he'll drag it to the logo at center. Nice job. 1-2 across it goes. They flip it down the rink. 35 seconds left on the Bobos Deli and Grill penalty kill. From the side of the circle, found by the IceCats and Houston Wilson. Wilson looking to skate it out high in the zone. It's along the red line at center. Jan Salak will try to find it. Moved across away from Zach White. He's applying pressure high in the zone. Top of the far side circle, picked off. They couldn't clear it though with Salak. He had an advance to the far side board. Had an option there and tried to advance it. Now moving front, batted down and found by Boris Babic. 4 seconds remaining on this critical penalty kill. Presented by Bobo's Deli and Grill. From the face-off, opportunity for the IceCats. Long-range shot through traffic. Batted down along the near side boards now. Thunderbirds to it, even strength again as we play 5-on-5. Onside long shot, easy save from that range for Ricardo Gonzalez. He has it in the glove, and we have no further action. Out-of-town scoreboard report from around the FPHL. Binghamton with a 1-0 lead on the road against Danbury. Good chance down low here for White. Tries to set it up in front, and it goes bouncing away. So that's one game going on. We'll get to the other ones here in a second once we have an opportunity. But we're back playing with 16-16 left to go in the Culver's third period. IceCats drag it down the ice, looking to play in the near side corner, eventually found by Gus Ford. Ford has Roman Kramer in front of him. He gets it to him, gets it right back. Here's Ford with a chance across the crease. They fire when they score! Zach White, 4-2! What a weekend Zach White is having. It's 4-2 with 16:03 left to go in the Culver's third period. 27th shot of the night goes in for Twin City. And who else but Roman Kramer and Gus Ford, and eventually there's Zach White involved. There's been a lot of players having a great start to the season here this weekend. Zach White's certainly one of them. 4-2, and we're back with under 16 to play now in the Culver's third period. They'll announce the goal. Meanwhile, 2-on-2 the wrong way. Long shot up and out of play from the IceCats. And so Zach White from Gus Ford has given the team a 4-2 lead here on home ice. Looking to avenge last night's 6-4 loss in the season opener. And they had the assist to Roman Kramer. As I mentioned, it was those three players that were getting the job done. Onside for the IceCats. A quick drive and a save made by Boris Babic aggressively at the top of the crease to shut it down. All right. So a 2-goal advantage for the home squad. We continue on with the out-of-town scoreboard report. We told you about the 1-0 lead on the road. Binghamton over Danbury in the second period. Watertown and Port Huron tied 1-1. Columbus with a 3-2 road lead over Blue Ridge. Athens 2-2 with Indiana in the second period. No score between Biloxi and Topeka, and 1-0 Baton Rouge on the road leading Monroe in the first period. We're back here in Winston-Salem. Moving along through the neutral zone, eventually played by the IceCats. Could be a 2-on-1 as they look to move around Demke. They'll fire in front, but it was blocked. Boris Babic was bummed, and he looked to clear the crease on his own. He did that. Lifted in from the neutral zone. Twin City has it again. Now they drop it down behind the line, picked off by the IceCats. Over the logo at center, up the right wing, onside for PD here. They'll play with Dominic Marcinkiewicz down behind the line. Found by Dion Demke, though, as Demke looks to get it back for the Thunderbirds. He turns, fires near side corner, taking a check, absorbing that pressure from behind, trying to make the play was Roman Kramer. Kramer has it, and he goes off the boots of Dion Demke. Hit him right in the skates and bounced away. Here's Farmer with it now. James Farmer, Mississauga, Ontario native. Right back for the IceCats, and his number 11 counterpart, Dominic Marcinkiewicz. To the point they go. No slap shot. They fake it across one more time, and Boris Babic makes a nice save all the way across the rink there, and that was on Jordan Popoff. So down they go, and this will be called icing against Twin City. 14:04 left to go in the third period. Immediate timeout with the Thunderbirds ahead by 2. We'll step aside and be right back with more Twin City Thunderbirds hockey.
Opening weekend of the season for us. There were some games in the league last weekend, and we talked about that going into last weekend, Coach.
Being your best is hard. You got to take care of yourself. You got your husband.
Let's put in a pool. For the kids.
For the kids. Forget the car. How about a motorcycle?
And if you own a business?
We need servers from, like, this century.
Yeah.
At a Legacy Federal Credit Union, we're committed to helping you be your best you. Whether it's with an unbeatable car loan rate, home equity line of credit, or small business help.
Who's the best?
Visit alegacy.org for our best rates.
So the Culver's third period rolls along here in Winston-Salem tonight with the Thunderbirds ahead by 2. Thunderbirds fans, got a sweet tooth? Culver's fresh frozen custard is rich, creamy, and made in small batches all day, every day. Swing by Culver's at 2973 Fairlawn Drive in Winston-Salem and check out today's flavor. Culver's, welcome to delicious. So We have 14:04 left to go in this final frame of regulation. And the home squad looking for its first win of the year, leading it by 2. They've got it here at center following the face-off and the pause of the media timeouts. Along the logo at center, though, taken back by Trevor Lord and the IceCats. Lord lifts it into an open corner, then he eventually gets it back for himself. He's pressured 1-on-2 disadvantage down behind the line. Sherbakov and Don Carter Jr. looking to steal it away. Now it's an even battle with 4 players locked together behind the net, fishing for it. Found by Don Carter. And off the backhand out towards the neutral zone, they'll go to Zach White. He lifts it forward. Now to the near side corner. Twin City attempts to find it. Big check there from Butita. Fans like it, but it's a 2-on-1 the wrong way. In front off the backhand, and it goes wide. Babbitt got a piece of it. And it settles down in the corner, cleared down the ice. And we've got a stoppage here, 13:02, and someone has not risen, and this may be an official. And this is just below the boards to our right. And it's not one of the officials. I thought that's who it was, maybe getting run into. It was sort of in an odd place. And that's why I thought maybe it was one of our 4 officials tonight, as it looked like Don Carter Jr. just got tangled up with someone there and didn't even really see him or mean to touch him at all. And I was looking at that out of, one side, and then also we had potentially a play out to center, and that's where the puck went, and they were able to stop the play. And it is an IceCats player. I think this is going to be Trevor Lord. And Lord is struggling here to stand. He's having to get some help. And as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, you never want to see this. Nice ovation from the fans. And just not sure exactly how he got tangled up there. And sometimes those hits, when you're not expecting them, are the worst. He's going to stay on the bench for now. He's going to go to the bench and stay in the game for now, which is good. All right, so after that, there'll be the face-off outside of the attacking area for the Thunderbirds. And it goes quickly across the rink and played ahead by PD. The IceCats will need a couple of goals now in the third period. They found offense in all 3 periods really last night, but we think back that big second period, that's sort of where the game turned and the momentum changed, and Twin City had one on the board to make it 4-3 with a Salak goal last night, and then a quick answer really shut down any real comeback attempts. But now the tables have turned the other way. It's 12:28 to play in the Culver's third period. And Twin City looking for it here on the doorstep with Butita. But they've got a 2-goal advantage at 4-2. Tracking back into the defensive end is Adam Zimmerman, then played up the left wing side. Yuri Peshtuka steps over the line, gives a pass. Controlled by Jan Salak. Back it goes to Farmer. Wanted to fire, and instead he dropped it down behind the net. It's in the corner. They go across now to the opposite side of the ring. Now back towards the near side boards again as they traverse through the neutral zone. Turn the other way. Played ahead by Konstantin Chernik. And from center, 11:50 to play in the third period. Shots on goal favoring Twin City, 27-23. Chopped in front of the goal, kicked out by Boris Babic. Confident right pad save made there. They'll try it again. Waving at nothing as that one was just out of the reach of the IceCats in front of the goal. Salak looks to track it down behind the net. Now Farmer comes racing in. Farmer took a high hit. Stays on his skates. Good battle. And he's run into, crunched down And we'll play on for now. He stands up. Looks like he'll continue on. Now he's hit from behind, stays on his skates, tries to get back at Dominic Marcinkiewicz. And looking to play it out towards center. These two are going to continue to go at each other, 11 and 25. Meanwhile, Babic, he's out of the crease here. Look out, he's behind the net. And he was trying just to hold on to it and melt it down, I think sensing trouble. And the Thunderbirds can't get it out of the zone here. Top of the near side circle. PD will have an option off the bench. They throw it over there. It's Razalov. They score. And we've got a fight going on inside the blue line, near side with Farmer. And the helmet is off of Patrick Marcinkiewicz. And they wave the goal off. And so that wrestling match was going on inside of the attacking area of the IceCats. And it looked like initially they were going to call this a goal, although I never saw a point, but PD certainly was confident they scored there. And I think the official word looks like they will have the play stopped with the activity that was going on along our near side vantage point, just out in section 104. And that certainly is going to be a very controversial moment in tonight's game. But if there were penalties that were going on, you know, it was sort of bang-bang there, I think, from the officials' perspective. Well, you can't score on a delay penalty if you're the team that's involved in the penalty. And I certainly understand why the IceCats will be frustrated. You see something like that happen, I don't know, maybe once a season you'll see that, where, you know, one team is able to score and fire the puck in the back of the net, and it's sort of stopped immediately because there was a penalty that was on the way that was going to be called. And, you know, I have a lot of jobs, obviously, but my main job is to watch the puck. And you hear the applause from the fans here. But I had my eyes right on the puck across the ice as there was that shot on the way, but I could hear the disturbance. I knew something was wrong and going on here beneath the broadcast location out in front of section 104. We had fans beside us in section 204 that had their eyes right on that were certainly excited about what was going on and were watching that. And so I was focused in across the ice, trying to keep up with everything out there at once. And, you know, obviously there, the no-goal signal, that's what you hear from the fans and the reaction. And they got a 2-minute penalty on the board for the IceCats, and 27, Patrick Marcinkiewicz, and he was involved in that skirmish. And the face-off, it looks like, is going to come all the way down the ice. And so not only is this potentially a goal that's taken off the board from PD, but potentially they'll go out there 5-on-4 shorthanded, down by 2 here in the third period. And head coach Steve Harrison now has his hands waving. And I'm not sure who he's not happy with, but you'll hear the fans as Patrick Marcinkiewicz is ushered away to the penalty box. And after all of that, this is now a really big moment of the hockey game. If Twin City could find one here on the power play, PD's talented. They've got a lot of firepower, but that'd be a 3-goal lead about the halfway point of the third period on home ice. I don't think any team in the world would expect to lose that one in those circumstances. Doesn't mean it wouldn't happen, but you really, I think, if you score here, you have to like where you are. Kramer fires in on net as the power play's underway. And so the IceCats, I'm sure they'll be treating this as a must-kill situation. This is going to be an interesting 2 minutes, for the reasons I just mentioned. Could have a massive momentum swing here. Mania, he's run into rudely there by Chance Adrian, and aggressive, looking to steal it away was Houston Wilson, looking to jump out through center ice. 10 minutes, 12 seconds remaining. 4-2 the score and the lead for the Thunderbirds. They'll drop it onside here on the power play. All the way around the clear is on from PD, but it's not out. Nice keep of the zone. Spinning around and having to play it between his legs was Roman Kramer. Kramer finds it, looks over the ice, wants an option here. Can he find anyone? They go in front of Manning, is tied up, chops it towards the goal, and it's covered up by Ricardo Gonzalez. So we've got 62 seconds left to go on this power play. And we are in the media timeout with a score at 4-2. We'll step aside quickly and come back for more Thunderbirds hockey. 2-goal lead here in the third.
Flow Offer to Purchase makes it easy for you to generate an appraisal for a vehicle online in under 5 minutes. You can confidently use Flow Offer to Purchase to determine your vehicle's trade-in value or to get a real offer to sell it to us. Here at Flow, we've always had a transparent, interactive appraisal process that our customers love. We developed our Flow Offer to Purchase tool to offer you that same great experience online or through our Flow Garage app anytime, anywhere. Using Flow Offer to Purchase is simple. Either enter your license plate number or VIN, and the system will pull up basic information about your vehicle. Some vehicles have options or extras that need to be selected in order to pull an accurate value. Then just tell us about the current condition of a few things like your tires, dents and scratches, or mechanical issues. From there, a real offer on your vehicle, whether you buy from us or not, is just a click away. Just a heads up, our staff will check over your vehicle to ensure your Flow Offer to Purchase is accurate. Your satisfaction is our priority. Flow Automotive dealerships have processed tens of thousands of vehicles using Flow Offer to Purchase, which has resulted in buying many thousands of cars from customers. Try Flow Offer to Purchase for free today. You can access this tool by clicking Sell Trade on flowauto.com or your dealer site by starting the Sell Trade dialog in the center of the homepage.
.62 seconds remaining on this power play. We're in the Culver's third period on this Saturday night in Winston-Salem. Kendall Grayson with you as always. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. 2-goal lead for the Thunderbirds. They return from the media timeout. Offensive end face-off of the power play was won by Twin City, but they could not hold the line as it got rolling on the far side of the building on Don Carter Jr. And so now spinning back into the defensive zone on the power play, Peshtuka leaves it for Carter. Up to Peshtuka. Here he is up the left wing. Quickly, he'll step on side of the power play. Twin City trying to go up by 3. They battle for it at the top of the circle. Then it's batted down, waved at by Butita. He gets it to Peshtuka. Cross one more time. Salak slap shot. It's blocked and stays out of the back of the net. That was a hammer shot from the far side there. A lot of weight behind it from the big Jan Salak. 6'5", 229 out of Czechia. Now we got a call back here at the line. So this is brought back offside. 17 seconds left to go on the penalty. 9:03 remaining in this third period. 7:35 the time of the puck drop on Friday. Right back here at the fairgrounds and then on the road on Saturday night, 1 week from tonight, 7:05 the time of the puck drop. It'll be Twin City at Athens. So we see the Rock Lobsters for the first time this year. Bobcats here on Friday. We're back nearing the expiration of the power play, controlled in the Thunderbirds defensive zone, and there it is. Power play over. 5-on-5 again. They look to stretch it across the ice. Kramer, he fires one, and that one almost surprised Ricardo Gonzalez. I think it did surprise him, but he got away with it. Almost leaked under him. Onside the other way, and a quick drive from Houston Wilson. That's batted aside. 8.5 to play in the third period. It's found by PD. Then back for Zach White. Nice little chip play there to Gus Ford. Good patient play. Now they cross onside. Demke calls for it. And he was open there in the high slot, but they don't get it to him. Then back down behind the net. White watches it go to the captain, Butita. Butita turns and finds White. Zach White high in his own goes way across and looking for a play to Nate Keeley. Here's Keeley, chips it ahead, eventually taken aside by PD on the intercept. Timur Razilov took it away. IceCats, side of the circle, and they'll drive one. That one got up on top of the boards. And I think that helped it get eventually out to the neutral zone. 7:44 left to go in the third period. 2-goal lead for the Thunderbirds. 31-23 shots on goal for Twin City. Zimmerman with a nice little hit there over the blue line, looking to move the puck down the ice with some pace. Then back the other way. Nick Gullo. Gullo, long shot. Babbitt's got it, and he'll hold on to it. He thought about maybe playing it. He didn't feel the need to do it. Then Zimmerman with a little bump there. to just so, and he's going to come back and not appreciate that. So they have a little bit of a shoving match post whistle. And 2 minutes is going to go up on the board here to Adam Zimmerman. So they call this, it looked like interference was the signal. And as the Thunderbirds had to deal with an important penalty kill earlier in this third period, here we are again. Bobo's Deli and Grill penalty kill in an important part of this game. Less than 8 minutes to go and a 2-goal lead here on home ice. So the power play is underway for PD, and out to center it goes to begin the one-man disadvantage sequence. So Twin City able to move it out. They do announce the interference there to Zimmerman. So that late bump after the whistle might have just been him trying to take another one with him. PD crosses onside, look out the shot! And they power wide to the goal there from Trevor Lord. Now it's high in the zone. They'll move it around. Lord's got it again to the point. They go. Good save made by Boris Babik on Nick Mangle-Diaz. And everything will settle down here with 1:28 remaining on the penalty kill. 6:43 to play in the Culver's third period. 2-goal lead on home ice tonight as the Thunderbirds look to win for the first time this season. Regulation win will give you 3 points here in the FPHL standings. And that's what they'll be going for here. Each and every night they suit them up and throw on the jerseys. So a long clear so far here on the penalty kill with nearly a minute gone on it. Gone off of it. This is looked okay here for Twin City. Back down behind the goal. These are pressure moments, and these are moments you live to play in as a hockey player. Inside the line. They'll hold the zone. Konstantin Chernik. They get it down low. IceCats working down by a pair. 6:08 to play in the third. Side of the circle. They survey the ice. Up top it goes again to Chernik. Konstantin Chernik. Far side circle. They drive it off the pipe, and it settles down. Found by Don Carter. Could have a play out to center. Butita was streaking out there, and Carter will skate it all the way down behind the line. But eventually, he is able to move it to the neutral zone. That's all he really was trying to do there. And he does kill off a couple of seconds with extra time, taking it back behind the goal. Onside for the IceCats. Look out. They'll rip it wide of the glove hand of Boris Babik. Settles down. Side of the circle. Good hit applied from Carter. And it bounces away out to the neutral zone. Twin City making changes. Keeley, Butita, Carter all off. And then it's Demke, Ford, Farmer out there. Zach White. Shot. Glove save made by Boris Babik. 1 second remaining on the penalty. All right, so it looks like it'll be a successful Bobo's Deli and Grill penalty kill with 5:16 remaining in the third period. From the face-off, nice play there by Zach White to move it out to center, and out of the box, Zimmerman. 5-on-5 we play as we approach the final 5 minutes of tonight's game. Onside, though, a drive wide of the net as that one was blistered right across the crease into the near side corner. Had a lot behind it, but the IceCats drive it wide of the net. So Twin City will find it here with Kramer out to White, just along the logo at center ice. And played ahead by the IceCats up the right wing. They'll look to step onside again. Dustin just so. And then across top of the near side circle. 4:37 to play now in the third period. 2-goal advantage for Twin City. Big hit there. And covering up is Boris Babik. Media timeout. It's the final one of the game. We will step aside and take it. 4-2 the lead. We'll be right back with more Twin City Thunderbirds hockey.
Introducing Flow Rewards, the exclusive rewards program for Flow Automotive customers. With Flow Rewards, every vehicle purchase and service visit earns you points towards future maintenance on your vehicle. To start earning and redeeming Flow Rewards points, download Flow Garage, make an account, and add your vehicle. If your account is already set up with your vehicle, you'll start earning rewards points automatically. Add family members to your household to earn Flow Rewards points together. Don't miss out. Download the Flow Garage app to start earning Flow Rewards points with your next service visit or vehicle purchase.
All right, welcome back inside the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena, and the Twin City Thunderbirds playing on home ice tonight, second time on the weekend, but looking for a different result. It was a 2-goal loss last night. Final score was 6-4, and they are looking to bounce back tonight. They've got a 2-goal lead themselves right now. And a critical penalty kill, successful penalty kill there in the last few moments. So they needed that, and they got it. A couple of times we said that here in the Culver's third period. Had the penalty called recently. That was handled by the Thunderbirds. That was the interference minor to Zimmerman. But also Sherbakov took the early penalty. That's who I was trying to think back to earlier here in the third. Slap shot far side, dealt with by Boris Babic. He's been good tonight. Watched it go away from him with 4:15 now left to play in tonight's matchup. Held on to in the defensive zone of the IceCats. They look to get the offense cranked up late. They'll take it back behind the goal. Ricardo Gonzalez looks on. And they play through center. Dropped onside. Sherbakov chases it down to the near side corners. Back behind the goal. Back behind the net. They battle along. 3:45 left to go. And this one, they will stop the play. IceCats have a player on the ice. And I think that one got underneath him. All right, here's the face-off, defensive zone territory for the Thunderbirds, and PD will possess the puck. 3:37 left to go in this third period. Culver's third period here on the broadcast. IceCats wait with it, top of the circle. They'll lift it wide of the goal. Boris Babic goes way out of the top of the goal crease that time, playing pretty aggressive. Now they center, they fire, and a save made by Boris Babic. That one keeps it at a 2-goal deficit for PD. Down the ice from the Thunderbirds, and they've iced it. So 3:16 left to go in this third period now. Shots are 31-27, and maybe trying to sneak him off the ice. They're definitely lifting him. Ricardo Gonzalez. We'll see if the Thunderbirds pick it up. As the officials count the players, the fans sense it now. Empty net, 2 hour left. Here we go. Thunderbirds look to clear. It's held onside, though, from the face-off. A lot of time still left in this one. They throw it in front of the net. Down is Babic. He looks to cover it. He's got it. A shoving match at the top of the goal crease. And everyone will calm down after that. And so, once again, folks, critical moments now in the hockey game. We've been there for a while, it really feels like. But you can sense the energy in the building whenever the netminder is not there. And he's not. 2 hour left. Ricardo Gonzalez has put together a pretty good effort here on the weekend. But his counterpart, Boris Babic, looking to win this one for the good guys. 3:03 to play in the third. Chopped out towards center, but it didn't make it there. Now bouncing strangely in front. That hit, I don't know how many things in front of the goal, but eventually it makes its way to Babic and everything's all right. That looked like it bounced at least twice, maybe 3 times it changed directions on the way in. Under 3 minutes to play. Twin City looking for win number 1 on the year here in game number 2. From the face-off, Keeley couldn't find it, held on side. They fan on the shot, though. Still on side of the point. They go near side now. No shot. There it is, and it goes the far side corner. It settles down. They'll chop it back behind the net again. 2:44 left to go in the third. Butita finds it. He's got room. Long reach down the ice on the drive, and it goes wide, and he ices it. Well, Butita had time there, but he was certainly looking for the shot that would have ended the game. Six on 5 continues. 2:38 left. 4-2 the score. Thunderbirds on top. PD wins the face-off. Here they go. Trevor Lord towards the net. This is going to go off the official towards the near side corner. Time ticking down. IceCats work side of the circle. Back up top to Trevor Lord. Bounces away from Konstantin Chernik. Fouled by the Thunderbirds. This will do it. They fire and score. Noah Hapotel-Smith. 5-2. Empty net goal. The 8th of his career. And that one should get the job done. Ricardo Gonzalez is back in the net. 5-2, 2:18 left here in Winston-Salem tonight. Face off at center ice. And we're back underway with Twin City playing from the defensive end. Roman Kramer had it played away from him at the neutral zone at center and lifted down the ice. Icing called against the PD IceCats. 2:05 to play in the third period. They'll announce the goal. 5-2, the empty netter that has sealed this one here. So Noah Hippolyte-Smith getting the goal, and the Thunderbirds fans looking like they'll head home happy this evening. Long shot from the point. That one goes wide. Still has some time left here, under 2 minutes to play. And that goal at 17:42 into an empty net. Back behind the net. Twin City finds it. 1:44 left. As they had an option up high to Don Carter Jr. Goes across the ice, though. So from the top of the circle, long shot. That was a heavy whack at it by Zimmerman. But it was a rising shot that went up in the air and then fell back down. Eventually went all the way down the ice. But Twin City tonight, they will win for the first time this season. Home record will go to 1-0, or 1-1 after this game, as they'll get win number 1. And looking for the 3 points in the standings, and this is batted down by a high stick down the ice. Will go for the face-off, and now the fans know what's coming next. 66 seconds remaining, and Twin City will split this opening series of the year. 2-goal loss last night. Looks like they're heading for a multi-goal win this evening. And they don't take it all the way down the ice on the face-off, just outside the zone here. So down the ice it goes from the center ice face-off. 1 minute left to go on this Saturday night in Winston-Salem. We're glad that you've joined us as we will bring you for the first time this season a Thunderbirds win. Salak in from center ice, struggles to play it there on the logo. Then he finds it, makes a nice move. He's bumped and lost possession over the blue line. We're in the final minute. 37 seconds left. A heavy hit from Sergei Sherbakov. And back behind the goal it goes. They'll flip it along. Here's Farmer looking for it. 25 seconds remaining in the hockey game. The fans will make the noise. 20 seconds remaining as it's chopped down the rink. no icing. The Twin City Thunderbirds, they'll win it tonight over the PD IceCats. 5-2 the final. And the clock stopped with 5.7. They waved off the icing. There was an icing that was due to go there, but they waved it off, and that was going to be the end of the game, and it is. Twin City wins it 5-2. Well, the Thunderbirds will go down the glove tap line. That, of course, ends with Boris Babic, who was great tonight, allowed 2 goals, and that was plenty enough for him this evening as his team played well in front of him, a 5-2 win. Now they'll go circle the logo and salute the fans here in Winston-Salem. The Thunderbirds will take a lap around the arena, stick taps all the way around. And the fans will celebrate a win for the first time this season. This one is by 3 goals, 5-2. And we'll take a listen to the celebration this evening. Thunderbirds win. Great result for this team on this Saturday night. Thanks to the fans for giving us 2 good crowds to play in front of on the weekend. Disappointing opener last night with the loss on the scoreboard. Not necessarily the effort, it was certainly there, but not complete. And I don't know if efforts are really ever complete according to coaches, but again, Steve Harrison will be happy with this one. So a bounce-back win for the Twin City Thunderbirds on this Saturday night. We will take a quick break and be back for the post-game show. Twin City Thunderbirds hockey, and it's a win for the first time this season.
Looking to exceed your real estate expectations? Meet Jennifer Sapp, passionate about real estate. Jennifer works with all clients because regardless of property value, every transaction is important to you, and that matters to her. She's been a proud sponsor of the Carolina Thunderbirds, supporting the community she loves. A consistent top producer, she's been helping people buy and renovate homes into their dream spaces. Call 336-782-3148 or visit jennifersapp.allentate.com.
Get into the swing of things at Tee It Up Indoors. Offering 3 simulators, over 11,000 virtual courses, lessons, club fittings, and a variety of snacks and beverages, Tee It Up Indoors is the place to go and work on your game. Call us at 336-285-7823 or visit our website at teeitupindoors.net.
Finish strong. Start here. Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist.
When it comes to performance, speed matters, just like on the ice. Introducing same-day dental crowns right here at Twin Oaks Dentistry. With cutting-edge technology, we craft crowns on-site, eliminating the need for temporary. As proud sponsors of the Carolina Thunderbirds, we understand the need for top-notch performance. We're more than just dental care. We're your partners in achieving your best smile.
And we're getting the 3 stars of the night here, still live in the building following the break. And we're back for the post-game show. Here's the number 1 star. And so it's a much-deserved first star of the game for Zach White. Boris Babbitt comes out a little late here. He was the 2nd star. And he got the helmet in the room, and so he's the player of the game. But a great effort from him. Much-deserved applause as he leaves. And the 3 stars of the game presented every night by Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist. The 3rd star of the game was Gus Ford. Boris Babbitt, the 2nd star. And the 1st star of tonight's game was Zach White. And so the fans still sticking around, many of them headed for the exits, but 2 good crowds here on the weekend to usher in this season of Twin City Thunderbirds hockey. 25-26 campaign. And a loss last night, regulation loss last night, but a regulation win tonight. And so points-wise, they're able to split the series. It is 3 points in the standings if you collect a regulation win, as they did this evening. And I mentioned the standings earlier, and I think that's when we had some action there that we had to get to. But PD entering tonight's game, they had the 2 games last weekend, but they had a little bit of a lead so far in the Continental Division standings with 7 points entering tonight, and then a pretty good drop-off already to Athens at 3 and Monroe at 3. But now the Thunderbirds will join those 2 teams with 3 points. And so as of right now, still some action going on tonight, but that'll be tied for 2nd in the divisional standings. Well, we'll get to the post-game show here and recap this one for you. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in tonight. Opening weekend, we had some technical bugs that we had to work through last night. But certainly glad to be on the air for tonight's game as well. So here's what this one looked like. And, you know, we talk about in last night's game and the run of goals, the 4 unanswered goals from PD. And it turns out tonight, similar in that the team that had the 1-goal lead after the opening frame surrendered multiple goals in a row and then lost the hockey game. So here's what this one looked like. 6:48, the time of the first scoring play of the evening from Patrick Marston-Kevix. Him and his brother Dominic's had a really good weekend, and he gets the IceCats going. Even strength goal at 6:48. But I thought a giant answer by Zach White, who had a big weekend. Gus Ford assisted on the goal, and just a huge answer. The way that sort of the second half of the hockey game played out last night to get on the score sheet and a meaningful goal. The Gus Ford goal late last night was nice, but of course that game was pretty much out of reach at that point, and so this was a very important goal on the board in the first period, again at 9:19. But the final scoring play of the Pine Tree Tavern first period was Trevor Lord, scoring at 19:22, less than a minute to play in the period, even strength goal. And the IceCats take a 2-1 lead after 1. Shots on net, though, favor the hometown Thunderbirds 10-7 in the first period. Then we go to the second period, and a couple of huge goals, not too far apart, 11:56 and then 14:47, the time of the scoring play. But Jan Salak, as he did the second period last night, that's to our right, he scores to make it a tie game at 2. Yuri Peshtuka and Michael Mania assisted on the play. 2-2 the score. Then it's Gus Ford at 14:47 of the Flow second period. Roman Kramer and Zach White assisted, and the Thunderbirds with a 3-2 lead. Early on in the third period, it's Zach White with his second of the night. Gus Ford and Roman Kramer on the assists. As that line had a lot of action this weekend, they were really good, and that put the score to 4-2. The final goal of the night was scored into an empty net by number 23, Noah Hippolyte-Smith, and that pushed the game to a 3-goal decision at 5-2. There were some crucial penalty kills that the Thunderbirds had to deal with there in the third period, as they killed off a slashing minor to Sergei Sherbakov at 1:12. Then they had to kill off an interference minor to Adam Zimmerman at 12:44. So they accomplished that, and it's a 3-goal win for the Twin City Thunderbirds. Boris Babic dropped the game last night. He bounces back tonight, though, and collects the win in goal. So that's his first victory of the season. And again, congratulations to him, as the Thunderbirds will split these games with the IceCats. So it's 1 win and 1 loss on the year so far through the opening weekend of the season. Here's what we have coming up next, and we hope to see you out here at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Arena next weekend. So on Friday night, Twin City is back on home ice in a battle against the Blue Ridge Bobcats. The game will begin at 7:35. And tickets are available right now at TwinCityThunderbirds.com. You can also go to WSFairgrounds.com or Ticketmaster.com, or stop by the box office during the week or call 336-727-2236. We have the Coach Harry Show, the first one in season. We've had already a handful, 3 before the season got going, and we had training camp to talk about, but now we have actual, real, meaningful hockey to talk to Coach Harry about, and we'll do that coming up on Tuesdays. The next Coach's Show is on Tuesday night at Earl's. We'll see you there. It's a 7 o'clock start. If you're unable to join us, we will post the interview in the Coach's Show on Thursday during the week. But thanks again, everyone, for tuning in all weekend long. Great job to our production staff here. Really appreciate everything that they did and the efforts that they made here this weekend to get us up and running and rolling along. So it's early this season. We'll have plenty more of these to come. But again, thanks for tuning in. Always appreciate it. And disappointing loss last night, but a nice way to finish the weekend. A good bounce-back win, and hopefully the home fans treated to a lot of entertainment this weekend between these two teams, PD and Twin City. So Kendall Grayson signing off here one final time. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's a big win here on Saturday night to pick up the bounce-back victory following the loss last night. But the final this evening, it's the Thunderbirds 5 and the IceCats 2. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next weekend. Twin City Thunderbirds